teacher, and we all get scared.
Jesus. Ah.
So, as an update for what happened between sessions, Ash's armor has been enchanted to be like the power of gods on his side.
Mm-hmm.
It is now magically resistant, critical immune, and yeah, it's crazy.
I have a crossbow!
Esther has a wrist crossbow proficiency, and effectively the skilled feat. Nope, the skilled feat?
Prodigy.
I think it was skilled. Yes, skilled.
Esther completed 100 hours of meditation, and the gods decided to gift her with skills, and she's gonna scare the shit out of people with it!
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov. Anyways, who would like to recap from session last time?
Fuck.
Oh, man.
Ariel, you got notes?
Yeah.
4 days ago.
I got notes.
Yeah.
Esther and Aquarius had a chat. We got some information on the soldier. We got a code phrase. He's only really called Junior. Apparently he's got a bit of a baby face. And Remy and Simone came back with a dead enormous bear that had been threatening the perimeters. Insane arrows, bolts of poison vulnerability happened.
Yes.
It's gonna be such a dangerous combo.
Yeah.
Rosalind has the formula for that and can do a great big case in like 2 hours. So I don't know if we want to like put those out into the world somehow. We could probably make a bunch and sell them someday, but
We can do that
another time.
Royalties.
That'd be bad for us. In the long run, because they might be used against us.
Yeah.
Just mix like jugs of antitoxin.
And put it in like a will or something.
Oh,
I
well.
gift these 3,000 poison vulnerability arrows to my ranger child. Oh no.
Oh.
No.
Xenia set up a party and did a elven soul pledge to the rest of the group. Swearing to protect us and children of bloodlines as long as they and their reincarnations exist, I believe. Coralon sealed the promise with a little bit of divine intervention.
Yeah.
There was a
Purvis is
spicy
also currently
food.
working with Ashta about a haste potion.
Mm-hmm. There was a spicy food contest that Fervis almost won just by default.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, he basically did. He has poison immunity.
Yep. And then we pretty much spent another day with the castle because Orzer had to finish up the escape route that we needed. But the following evening, and just before we left off, the castle gave us a request for docking. We do not know who or what just yet.
If I may add just one more thing.
Sure.
Esther shared really personal information with Rosalind, and that was something I wanted to put in, because only Rosalind at this current time knows that information.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Outside of what's been extrapolated by the party in the past, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Alright. So, as the castle informs you guys of a request to dock from the southeast. Sorry. Who responds with what? As a reminder, Rosalind is default captain.
She'll ask if the person making the request identified themselves.
Less of a... they announce themselves, it's more of the ship goes, hey, you can't be in this airspace, and they go, can we come in? So they've basically said they don't plan to be hostile, but they are requesting docking. And you guys know the southeastern side is pretty much as far away from the castle as you can get.
Can we get up to try to see them? Like on the towers?
It's a couple miles away. Ashta might be able to if he rolls a high enough perception check. Alright. You will have to use the glasses though, or the goggles.
He can't. There isn't any of the doors or anything who might happen to have a spyglass or anything, is there?
Even with this is like literal miles away.
All right. Yep.
Help, I can offer either advantage or guidance.
27.
27? I'd say take the guidance just in case.
All right. 28.
28? Alright. You can see distantly the shape of what you're pretty sure is just a canoe, but like a really big one.
What the fuck?
At the very, very end on the other side of the forest. You're seeing it like through the trees, as it's kind of just like hovering there a little bit above the tree line.
But like not above the island.
It's a little bit above the like sea level, quote unquote, of the island. A little bit lower than you are, but higher than most of the trees, though.
Hmm.
You could not guess size from here.
Right. Well, Ash will send a message of that.
Hmm.
Can anyone send a message their way?
Who's got sending?
I have to be familiar with them.
Oh,
I just checked.
Can the ship send them a thing back? Because I assume there was some some like back and forth there already.
It can send a basic ideas.
Alright.
Um,
No.
here. I'm gonna call for one of the birds. Askiar, perhaps?
As Kerlik flies down, he looks a bit gruffed at the whole situation.
I know. How far can you go in a teleport? Don't show me, just let me know.
Kind of basically says like basically 500 feet around.
How many times can you do that?
3 before you need to rest. But it's like a minute rest.
Mm-hmm.
With more firebirds, they can go further.
Can some of you take Thorn?
Yeah, he's small, easy enough to do.
Can you get him there as quickly as possible? And, well, perhaps serve as messengers, witnesses, yourselves? Just watching, listening. Keep in touch with the Monarch. I'll keep in touch through Thorn.
And they do so anyway to start like just. You watch as they kind of take one wing beat, and the air in front of them just kind of folds around them, and they appear halfway across the trees. As like four of them are each carrying like one limb of thorn. After about 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you basically get a confirmation from the Monarch saying that they've arrived.
Alright. I'm gonna just take Ashta's hand, and she'll say, I'm not going to be able to see or hear you unless I deliberately bring my mind back for it, but I'm pretty sure you can just speak to me through the Fane in the meantime, and I'll keep you updated, all of you.
Alright.
Just let me know if there's a reason to come back immediately. And
Real quick.
yes.
Can anyone's Fane do a look up on a flying canoe?
Okay. What do we roll?
Nature?
Pick an intelligence check, and you tell me which one you're rolling.
Arcana.
Maybe history or religion?
History.
See if this has any like ties to any certain
History.
cultures.
22 for Arcana.
16 history.
I will use the feign for advantage and guidance myself.
Yeah. That's probably best. History?
Okay.
20 for history.
Purvis, you know it's simple enough to extend a flying enchantment to a object of like a large size.
Yeah.
The castle is basically a very, very much amped up version of that.
Yeah.
So a canoe is strange but reasonable.
It's a strange choice for levitation enchantment, but not out of the question, basically. Levitation-
Xena, you have vague knowledge of kind of a variation of the boatmen from the Greek mythology that some flying races believe in, but that's usually like a large ship as opposed to a canoe.
I'd really that knowledge just be like, I don't have anything specific on canoe.
It's not out of the question to put a flight enchantment on something. So, whoever these people are, they must have thought, yeah, put it on a canoe.
Could Ash try for a religion check?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just with his time to celestial stuff.
Thank you for guidance. Connor.
Nope, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can give him guidance, but it won't matter.
Yeah.
7.
You get like a vague recollection that once Xena mentions the flying ship, and you kind of vaguely recall that, but
Alright, I look through Thorn's eyes.
And you see a gnome standing at the very spearhead of the canoe, kind of shouting out to the castle, like, "Have they answered yet? Lylander, come on board!
Identify yourself,
The
please.
giants still reside here? Oh, hello. Huh, much smaller than I thought you'd be.
Giants.
Giants.
Consider this a spokesperson. As for giants, no. Who might you be? Hello? Oh,
Oh.
no, we lost him.
We lost
no.
him.
We
Sorry.
lost him.
I just
Who
connected
might
all-
you be? He's
No, no.
gone.
Who might you
Nick?
be?
Who are you? He jumped off the side.
Oh god!
Sorry for that. My name is Jeremiah, and he kind of like bows to and goes, "And who would you be?" Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Okay, thank you.
Jarbuck.
One of the castle's newer residents.
Ah, quite small for a giant. And I heard they didn't like the dragons.
Giants.
Well, things change.
Clearly. Do I have permission to come aboard?
It depends. What is your business here?
Well, I'm an intrepid explorer.
Oh, of
I've
course.
heard legends of the Flying Giant's castle and how it seems to have been tamed or flying across the land, either as some sort of warning, intimidation, or privateering of such a castle. And I've been curious to see what's actually here.
This is
Can I
being-
insight?
I was gonna say, yeah, this is being broadcast to everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an insight.
Who the fuck is this man?
Can Ash ask for guidance from Xenia?
A gnome of some kind.
Yeah, I can give you advantage because I do have proficiency in insight.
All right.
Either- Whichever you'd rather want, Devin.
Yeah, I'll say because you're not able to see it yourself, Ashley, even though it is being translated through the feigns, like direct, the advantage will cancel out the disadvantage.
All right. So just a normal insight.
Yeah.
29.
Shit. All right.
Mhm.
It's not unheard of. There's a decently well-known thing in some kinds of gnomish culture of looking at relics of the past and trying to figure out their magic. But
And he seems
he's weird.
legitimate
It
and
doesn't.
honest.
It doesn't seem like he's lying.
Hmm.
He asked for permission.
What
Don't
do
see
you
anything wrong with them.
And
I
what,
don't like that.
what do you intend to do with that knowledge when you gain it?
I'm not really sure. I kind of just. I like to explore. I like to learn for the sake of learning. A noble pursuit, from what I'm told, but some may disagree.
I don't trust him.
Don't trust that.
I don't trust gnomes.
Yeah, I've ruined you guys for gnomes.
Yeah, you have.
Noble pursuit. Fuck off.
I was thinking the same thing.
Christ.
Hmm.
Makes sense that noble pursuit spelled like that is very close to ignoble pursuit.
Yes.
So the feigned consensus from the group is no, yes?
It's
Left him.
it's dude, you're super suspicious.
Here's-
Even if you seem honest.
Maybe we should just go out to meet him instead of allowing him near the castle
Yeah.
people and the children.
Ask if he wants a conversation on a bit away from the castle.
Would you be
Yes.
willing to accept a conversation without entering the
Parlay.
castle itself?
Sure thing.
Parlay.
Perhaps.
Don't drink the tea. He pulls out like a tea set and starts like boiling underneath like a produced flame cantrip in his hand.
Can I observe the tea to see if there's anything suspicious in it?
We aren't there yet.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah,
Roll
you're
a
getting this
perception
through
check.
Fane. You're getting this
Yeah.
through Fane and Thorn's
Yeah.
eyes and Rosalind's perception.
Ash will give him advantage.
Yeah, so roll roll normally, but it's a perception check.
Okay.
Guidance. The
18.
Take a guidance roll from Xenia.
Okay, so 1d4.
Yes.
1, so 19. Is there
He
anything
put
suspicious in the
he put
tea?
leaves in a pot. You have no idea what kind of leaves they are. They're kind of dried and crumpled.
Esther's gonna feign to Fervus. I have a way to check.
Don't know what's in there, and I don't like
I should feign one of those the blueprints for one of those trick teapots that change what's poured depending on how you hold it.
We have a way to check. We do have chalk that will check.
Honestly, you don't need to bother yourself. We can provide tea if need be.
There we go. I'll just drink this one myself then. Should I land anywhere, or do you have a method to float?
Tell him to land by the lake.
that.
If need be, we can push him in the water.
Do we
Land-
want him on the island?
Land
can
here.
control how-
Guys! Please, I'm trying here. I'm trying to have a seamless conversation with Rosalind, and there's just this peanut gallery in the background yelling at her, I feel like.
Sorry.
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 I like to imagine it's a good of Rosa like turning off her feign from it and just like, guys, stop.
Stop.
Probably. It's like,
Stop her.
ah! Suggestions are going every which way. Okay, she's gonna tell him to land on the far side of the forest, which is, I assume, about where he is. Like,
He's not over top the island right now. He's off the perimeter.
alright, you may approach, and she's just gonna kind of guide him to land not too far into the island, okay?
Okay. So basically he can cross the forest and you get to the lake, and then cross the lake to get to the castle. Where in that step is he going to be landing?
On the other side of the forest.
Okay, so right at the edge then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you see him kind of float down there, and the Firebirds watch him very closely. As Kiara sends like a faint message, which is like, yeah, I don't like him. He's excitable.
We've had excitable people before, but you don't seem to be alone in that sentiment.
Want us to stay here, and if he becomes a problem, we teleport him off the edge?
Only if you teleport him with his craft.
If he's nice.
If he's
If he
Maybe
does,
put the craft like 6 feet below him.
if he does anything aggressive or dangerous to you or anybody else living here, then, well, perhaps then you may. But if he's only annoying and excitable, then just remember he doesn't have wings on his own, presumably.
Right, you strange-footed folk. At least you have hands.
They are useful. And through Thorn, I'm going to say, please wait here. Within a few minutes, some of us will approach and we will have a conversation then.
And if you guys would like a flock of Firebirds could teleport you all within a minute.
Yeah.
By the way, Asha has his armor at this point, right?
Yeah, this is the morning of the day after.
Okay.
So everyone's long rested and everything.
Esther's been fucking around with her wrist bow all day, delighted that she can actually hit stuff with it.
Yep. You get like little a steel crossbow bolt that don't go too far, but they hurt. Oh, actually we need to do that enchanting for you, which would have been yesterday.
Oh,
So give me an
what's-
Yeah, so give me
No,
a real quick scene.
Esther was
Sorry.
helping Rosalind all of yesterday. You said that.
Yeah, Esther would have basically taken a late start and had Gariel cast Greater Restoration for level of exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was discussed between me and Sky earlier.
Yay.
Mhm.
Cool.
Alright, so it is DC 15 with complication, DC 20 without complication for an enchantment check.
Is it with advantage as well with Xenia?
No, that's just making you able to make the check.
Okay.
Guidance.
Yep, but you do have guidance.
But
made it,
do
you made it.
have-
Yeah, you're okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can use intelligence as your modifier for using it.
yay!
So, as you guys use the strange unfolding teleport of the Firebirds working in tandem, it's less like the teleporting you used to, where it's kind of like a tug across the navel. It's instead like you take a step, but the entirety of space between you has just been tesseracted to make it smaller.
Hmm.
And as you kind of take that step and appear in front of the gnome, he kind of jolts and wiggles the tea off his tea plate in his thing because, oh, my apologies, you started me, and he just takes like a sip as his hands are kind of jittering. It seems like he's heavily caffeinated.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Quite.
You're shaking.
Ah,
Yeah.
I do that.
I brought
Hi,
some.
nice to meet you. You don't seem like giants.
I suppose
No.
that is a matter of opinion and perspective, wouldn't it be?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty small, but you don't seem like giants to me.
No. No, we would not seem like giants.
Well, my name is Jeremiah, as I'm sure your messenger has told you. Nice to meet you. Just eventually looking to see what's here.
Where are you from?
He kind of points down and says, originally or most recently?
Originally.
Well, if you go back long enough, I was born in Cassiolaria, but, been around, longest time been living in some gnome villages, whoever will take me in for a short time. And you? I presume, forgive me if I'm wrong, Genasi Desert?
What gave it away?
The fire, mainly, but you have a certain accent as well.
Accent?
Really?
Really?
Yeah?
It's slight, but it's there.
Huh.
Fair enough. I mean, you all kind of talk funny now that I think about it.
You don't have to say it.
It's true.
So, do I have the pleasure of meeting the current owners or residents of the island? I was quite surprised that the big rock talked to me, but apparently it's quite more intelligent than I give it credit for.
We sort of raise our hands.
Well, how did you discover this place? I thought this would be the legendary resting place of a old giant hero, but maybe not.
Well, it was.
Oh, it was. What happened to the giants?
There was a quick feign over. Maybe you shouldn't have told the very curious explorer about what we have in our basement.
I said was. Doesn't is.
That's gonna lead to his curiosity.
We say we tossed the corpse. Mm-mm.
As for the giants, we never came across any.
Not a bad thing. I guess I've taken more to being across the stomping grounds, but... And might I ask what those strange, feathery folks I saw earlier were? Are they
Those
native to
things
the
are
island?
called birds. Don't
Oh,
know
I
if you've seen
assumed
one
as much.
before.
I have, but not one of that variety, especially not ones that can teleport.
Other residents, let's call them.
Friendly, I hope?
Friendly enough. As
There's
long
like
as
a-
you don't do
there's a-
anything to frustrate them.
There's like a gruff growl and a preening from Askiar as it kind of like jolts and looks toward, like, oh, alright. If you don't mind sitting for a conversation, I won't offer tea as you made yourself clear as you would not like any of mine, but he kind of pulls out like a piece of like a plank of wood from a bag, probably a bag of holding, and just he flips it in his hand, it comes out like a table, flips another one, comes out as a chair, he sits down, puts the teapot, puts the tea set down, sits down and goes, so, how did you come across this island?
How very interesting. Honestly, I was going to offer tea as we are the hosts.
Yes,
But
I mean, I will definitely take tea. I don't usually just drink one cup, if you couldn't tell from my demeanor.
perhaps a nice calming chamomile. I'm just going to pull out that.
Yep, and he goes, oh, I wouldn't mind a chamomile, but a long time since I had some.
I'm not surprised.
This is, well, can I at least get a title to call you folks as a collective by, if you're not going to give names?
Out of character.
We never made one. I wish we could, but we just don't.
The shits. No.
Don't even.
I kind of like the Crossroads Collective.
Yeah.
This is the worst time to decide something like this.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. But
Rosalind's
it-
band of misfits.
I like
God.
the name, though, unfortunately.
The
Yeah.
Rose Guards?
The Rose Guards.
Rose Guards.
But that kind of leaves Rosalind out of it a little.
Yeah.
She's the Rose.
Yeah, but she's not a Rose Guard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair.
The Rose.
The Color Brigade.
I'm not sure. Maybe not in that one.
That one.
No.
No.
Freedom Fighters.
No.
No.
We're not
Fuck the
associating.
druids. FTD, fuck the druids.
No.
No. FTR. Fuck the revival.
It just fell.
Um,
Everything broke.
As he kind of like looks over you guys, like trying to listen to things, he goes,
Uh,
I would say quite tight-lipped. I'll refrain from names if that's the preference then. You said chamomile?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
you have sugar?
apologize. We've never exactly come up with a name for ourselves collectively.
Oh, that's quite alright. I'm just hoping there's something I can write down later. Do you have sugar?
I
Write
brought
down.
a little bit, but back to writing things down. I did ask why you wanted to know these things. Are you writing a book then?
Oh, no, I just keep track for my own sake. What I've discovered is sometimes I forget things, and when I come across something else later on, they kind of click together. Not anything special, just my own personal notes. But like I said, adventuring, exploring, seeing what I can find in the world. So much strange things to discover.
and it's just for yourself. You don't sell information or anything like that.
I mean, if I've come across a tomb and they've got some wayward magic items, I make most of my money from that. But in general, no, I like to explore. It seems fun. I've got quite the colorful collective.
Who do you generally
Have
sell
you-
your...
Can I get an insight on that?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, he seems pretty open. No reason to believe he's lying other than paranoia.
Bo was open too, and look how well that turned out.
Not saying it's not well-founded paranoia.
Have you ever been to Peduncle after the fall?
I tried to. I wanted to go see if I could move closer to the egg, but the Guardians were not particularly willing to let me do so. So I
What do you
saw
mean?
from a distance with a spyglass.
Guardians?
Oh yeah, just a group, basically a small group of people who keep anyone from touching the eggs and getting hurt.
What happens if you touch the egg?
It's very hot.
What happens if you're immune to fire and you touch the egg?
I imagine it's less hot, or
Less.
doesn't hurt as much.
Esther has a gleam in her eye. It is very clear look of I want to touch the egg, but I'm not going to
No.
say it out loud.
Don't encourage him. Okay.
How long have you been doing your explorations and adventuring all this historical stuff?
10 years.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, as long as you don't mind me asking in return, I'm about 50.
In
Which
return,
you guys know in Gnomish, he's pretty young, maybe in his 30s equivalent.
Yeah, that's why I was asking for like the sake of how old is this fucker?
Yeah, it's equivalent like mid to late 30s.
So
Yeah.
just go,
It's
oh,
his midlife crisis.
midlife gridlock.
Midlife crisis now, baby.
I'm 30.
Oh, glad to meet someone so young in that case. Didn't expect that on the ancient home of giant heroes, but stranger things have been happening.
Fergus gives like Esther a weird look.
I suppose the first strange thing was seeing not giants on a original giant castle.
Yes. Although even before that, the castle talking back to me was quite surprising. Luckily, I keep a firm seat on my boat.
Speaking of that, what is it?
Oh, it's just had a gift from my long departed uncle. He was a bit of an adventurer like me, and this is what he used to get around. He used to have these fancy paddles he would use, but I later enchanted it to fly under its own power.
Your uncle have a name?
Yeah. But if you don't mind me keeping it to myself, if you don't plan to give me any of yours, if that's all right.
Ooh, this again.
Good save, DM.
When the DM doesn't have a name.
Good save.
So, are you from this continent then?
Calciolaria.
What was it?
Calciolaria, southeast.
Castle southeast, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
know.
the city.
Yep.
Sorry, he talks very quickly.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, we've never been to that city. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You might have passed by it once or twice with the tribes, but it's way out of the way of most the rest of the continent.
Yeah. You're
So,
pretty out of the way then.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to explore. It's when the only place to go is either to the giant lands or into the desert. You get kind of this urge to get out there and see what you can find, you know?
I
I,
understand.
Well,
I get that.
if you were looking for the castle out in the giant lands, wouldn't you have any way to protect yourself? That
Stay very high outside of the range of rocks.
Have you seen giants before?
Oh yes, smaller ones mainly. Never anything bigger than a fire giant, but giants, yes.
What are they like?
Big, angry. The hill giants are quite gluttonous.
Always?
So
Always.
always.
Are none of them kind?
Giants.
None that I've met. Although, from what I hear, the smaller ones are the less friendly of the folks. The bigger ones, the cloud giants and storm giants, are the friendliest of them and are the types that own castles like this, which is why I was hoping to find some, but apparently I'm a bit too late.
Unfortunately, when we found it, it was completely empty of giants. There were a few local pests to clear out,
Yeah.
but
Makes sense. Any idea how long it's been abandoned?
no.
Oh, that's quite alright. And forgive my curiosity, if you will. Have you found the tomb? Is there a tomb?
We found the broken remains of a village, and we found the castle itself. We've explored little else, though, aside from a little bit of treks into the forests to, again, deal with the local pests and wildlife.
Hello.
And what are they like, if you don't mind my asking?
Very, very large, very, very deadly. I would not recommend stepping foot in there alone.
Good advice. Oh, this is quite more informational than I was expecting on the first half an hour on a new island. Anything else that's interesting that might you're willing to share for my curiosity's sake? I'm so surprised that this island has just been floating around. It's been rumored to be somewhere for hundreds and hundreds of years. For it to just be floating over the continent, sightings in most of the major cities, especially in the center of the continent, that's exciting.
Quick message goes to everyone: just if we can give him something that it's easy enough to find out, but he doesn't know, maybe he can give us something in return.
We found it far to the north.
North? How far?
A few 100 miles, I believe.
I imagine it's pretty hard to get to.
Apologize for being so imprecise.
Oh, if it's a few hundred miles, just in the ocean, then yes.
It's
Above water or below?
above water. It was in the air. It's a little
Oh,
harder
interesting.
to keep track.
Oh, I've heard it's able to go underwater.
Is it? Very interesting.
From what I've heard. I'd be careful testing it, of course, but from what I hear, many storm giant castles were able to.
Well, we've never had any cause or reason to attempt such a thing, but it's an interesting thought.
Not sure how well it would go for the possessions within. From my understanding, many of the storm giants could breathe underwater, so not sure what the air situation would be like.
You're from Calciolaria, correct?
Originally, yes, when I was young.
So you grew up near the coast.
Ish. Closer than most cities, but we're not exactly coastal.
In
More desert side.
in your travels, have you perhaps come across any sort of vehicle that can submerge itself underwater?
A few. I know folks have canoes and boats like mine that can go beneath the waves. They're rare, but there's one or two that I know of on the Obsidian Coast. They trade with the elves of the north mainly. In the underwater elves. For the endless ocean, I've heard of research vessels, but nothing of particularly public notoriety.
Oh, that's all right.
But I'm sure there's some. Though I haven't explored oceans yet much. It's quite a fruitful place to find things. He kind of gestures towards the entirety of the castle. He's still jittering despite the fact of being on his second cup of chamomile tea.
Heavily caffeinated.
And you said you grew up in Casciolaria. Where do you reside now?
Mostly on my little boat. Has most of my necessities. I sleep on it, I eat in it, use it as shelter when I need to. But when I need to rest for a while, gnomish villagers are always friendly to other gnomes and friendly folk. Halfling villagers even more so. They always have a good meal as well. And they can be found most anywhere, so I usually fly until I find one and make sure I land. It's usually fun to trade a tale or two for the sake of a nice meal and a warm bed to sleep in?
Unfortunately, we don't have the accommodations to such a degree of comfort. At least not yet.
Understandable.
We've hardly had this for a couple of weeks, perhaps.
Makes sense. So you are the folks that have been flying it over to the country then?
Oh yes, we are.
Yes.
We've been
Ah.
we've been working on trying to get this place to some degree of livability.
I hope progress is good. Are you alright with me telling anyone who asks if I have the chance that you come in peace? People are quite startled by a castle of legend of giants, which we are technically at war at, flying over the country randomly and stopping over cities for days on end without much sign of anything happening. Especially considering I can talk.
Understandable.
That might be a good idea.
We've been trying to put at least a bit of a message out ourselves to those we interact when we're at places, but I guess that hasn't taken too quick.
I mean, you do travel quite a bit from what I hear. Quite a few people need to be informed before it's reputable. And no, the smaller villages don't get news very quickly. But I am a good source for some of them.
Well, if you can relay information, then that'd be useful to know for them to do peace.
For sure. And is this just a settlement for the sake of settling? Prospering on new lands previously uninhabited by humanoids?
Yes, it's something of an experiment.
Experiment? So you're scientists then?
Perhaps not quite that formal, but
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
it's more the thought of, well, this is unusual land. Can it be settled by people not giantish?
And has progress been made?
Some.
some.
Kinda.
I assume magical aids are paramount, as well as quite the workforce. That castle seemed far too big to keep heated and inhabited comfortably.
Well, when you start small,
Need not heat the entire castle.
True enough. Well, us gnomes are experts at starting small, thinking big. It's almost an old saying at this point.
No, but.
Oh, Ashta's good at that too.
Oh, sorry, I don't know the sash you speak of, but
I was feign, like,
Oh, that was out of
real
character.
smooth there, Esther.
That was out of character. I did not mean to.
Oh,
say
that was meant to be a
in
character? Okay, sorry.
I wrote it. That's why. Ashta's good at being small.
I
and
assume
thinking
anything
big.
written in that kind of like non slash me is out of character.
Yep.
Sick. Good. It'd be kind of bad if I told my age and then it was like, this is a clear lie.
Do you folks have time to sit and converse, or I assume you're busy trying to habitate a ancient giant's castle?
we do have a bit of business to be done, but perhaps for an
Fair
hour
enough.
or so.
Alright, if you don't mind me, perhaps I'll stay on this edge right here, just a place to set camp. Just to look at the flora, fauna. If I see anything dangerous, I'll make sure I stay away very quickly, but I won't try to enter the villages or castles or anything. I'm just so curious about what lives in that giant forest.
It would be very recommended. The last time we went to the villages, it was a little unpleasant. Various very, very large insects have moved in the meantime. Be
Ooh,
careful.
insects.
Also,
I do not mean insects the size of my hand or so in terms of large. I mean insects large enough that they could probably eat you in a bite.
Interesting.
If you see any ants, run.
Makes sense. I have quite a few aunts who I'm not on good terms with. So small camp here. I'll make sure I don't start a fire or anything. I don't want to risk the forest, but small tent, which is pretty much just my canoe flipped upside down.
as long as you're okay with some of our bird friends just keeping an eye on you for the safety of all involved.
Sure. They don't plan to eat me, do they?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
they aren't carnivorous.
Unless you give them a very good reason.
Not
What kind of reasons would those be, so I can avoid giving them that?
Making them angry.
being an inherent threat, yeah.
Doing anything you haven't said you're going to do right now. or avoid doing.
Yeah.
Alright then. Do they converse? I've heard rumors of them being able to converse.
Not really. They're intelligent. They'll understand you. But they don't speak common themselves.
Unfortunate. And he kind of like turns to one of them and starts speaking Orin for a second, and the Firebirds just like cock their head looking weirdly at him.
They
Seems
don't
like they
speak.
don't understand.
They don't speak Orin.
They don't
Ah.
speak any form of primordial. No language that we could comprehend.
Oh, 'tis a shame, but birds are birds. They are free to have their own conversations, I'm sure. He kind of like kneels down in front of Azkiar and kind of goes like, "Hello, I hope you recognize the fact that I am not a threat. I'm just very curious, and
Oh
I
my
would very much
God.
appreciate you not eating me nor any of my food while you're here. But if I do find some extra, I'll make sure I give some to you." And Azkiar kind of like blows smoke in his face.
You are a traveler then, yes?
Most of what I do is traveling, yes.
Do you happen to collect items, trade items, anything like that?
I mean, what do you have of interest? Yes, I have a small variety, mostly utilitarian things, but I haven't gone pawning off anything in recent times, so I might have some things to catch your interest.
May I see them?
Sure, and he takes his bag of holding and just flips it inside out, and like a flood of just like tools and shit just across the ground, like 10 feet in any direction.
Fuck. Fuck.
A lot of it you recognize as just mundane magic items. Things like a fork that the tines never bend, a knife that never dulls, just like dozens and dozens of stuff like that. But as well, you see what you're pretty sure is like a flame blade, as well as like a dagger that's like coated in frost, and a helmet that's just like midnight black with these like horns curved downwards.
Esther's gonna take those 3 items, kind of set them out in front and go, okay, what's
What?
this? And point to the helmet.
Not sure about the helmet. Talks to me, so I don't wear it. Seems cursed.
Okay.
Not gonna fuck with it.
What about the blades?
Big one on fire, small one on cold.
Cool. Fairly straightforward.
The big blade, what would it be classified as?
Probably a short sword.
Okay, interesting. Esther's gonna cast Identify on the helmet.
You do so in with a ritual or
Yeah,
in a minute.
yeah.
Okay. Ritual or with a spell slot.
We'll say with a spell slot. Oh no,
Okay.
we'll do a ritual. It's
Okay, so it takes 10 minutes.
yeah, no biggie.
But at the end of it, it is a cursed helmet of invisibility.
Wait a minute.
You can speak a command word, and it will make you invisible until either an hour is up, or until you choose to dismiss it as a bonus action. However, while you're wearing it, the spirit of the helmet speaks to you.
Absolute curiosity. What if I cast this on the helmet?
I mean, are you, or what would happen, is what you're asking.
Like, what would happen? Would it actually remove the curse, or because it's a cursed magic item, the curse
Yeah.
still stays, or...
It's an off magic item. The curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
It isn't
That's
really.
what I mean.
It's not really
Yeah.
used for items. It's used for people with curse or people who have like magic items stuck to them.
Yeah, you know the version
okay.
that Orzer uses is basically a higher level casting of a similar spell. So
Orzer can do that because he's a fucking god.
well, kind of. It's basically if you upcast remove curse, it can begin to affect certain levels of magic item. But it's an inability check to do so. And depending on how high the spell slot you use, the greater your chance of success.
And what is the word?
The
Do
which?
you know? You said there was a word that needed to be used to cast yourself as invisible.
Yeah, so if you're wearing it, the command word is primordial for. It's kind of like a catch-all term for removal. It's basically a way to say like null, N-U-L-L. That kind of concept, a lack of anything.
Awesome.
Out of character, would you be able to like learn the enchantment from it?
By disenchanting the item, yes.
Okay. I
Interesting.
mean, it might be worth it. Would
That
the curse
actually
be
would
tied
be.
to that?
Let me check the rules, but I believe it's just if you pass the check, you can separate the curse and separate the enchantment. But I'm just going to check that
Yeah.
really fast.
We could also get Orzer to remove the curse and then break down the enchantment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep in mind, the curse is the curse specifically is that it sticks to your head, and you can't take it off until the curse is broken. The curse isn't speaking to it.
Everything was sticking to my head, I swear to God.
Everything.
It's a common curse.
Yeah, that is the most common curse.
It's like the opposite of the everything is enchanted to fit everyone.
Yeah.
It's a very
disenchanting.
clingy magic item.
Yeah, so there's two ways to disenchant. There's the fast way that's cheaper, and there's the way to get the enchantment without breaking the item. It's easier to basically break the item down and then rebuild if you need to, and to get the enchantment that way. It costs money and time. You don't have to make a check. But if you want to preserve the actual item itself, you have to make a check to do so.
Interesting. Okay. How much would you be willing, or what would you be willing to trade to part with this helmet?
What do you have? I don't tend to carry too much money on me, but what do you have of interest?
Esther's going to bring out one of the flint steel longbows.
Alright.
The sickle, because for some reason I still own.
Is it just a normal sickle, or?
It's just a normal sickle.
Okay.
A
farming tool?
She's gonna kind of look and go, it's just through the vein. Should I offer the bomb?
We have like a saber-toothed cat pelt. Oh no, sable belt. Never mind, I read that wrong.
The words are close.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I read this one too. I thought it was bronze like oreberry. No, it's orrery. It's like, why aren't we growing that?
Alright, she'll use, I guess, the sable belt as well.
Alright. He kind of looks me over and says, "Huh, interesting."
I have a question about the disabled belt.
Sorry, the sable belt?
The thing that Esther just gave over, because doesn't Caius have that?
No,
Yeah.
that was...
Oh, that was another one.
Of
We had two belts. I remember we
You
had
guys
two
got
belts.
two of them.
Yeah.
That's why I was very confused. I was a little bit confused.
Yeah. Caius offered the Sable Belt as a potential new championship for Valley Band Wrestling.
Thank you.
We also have like the corn stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if he doesn't want any of that, Esther will start pulling out corn things.
Yeah, I will say, he kind of looks at himself and says, these do seem valuable and quite well made, and I mean him to disrespect by it, but this is quite the powerful magic item. I don't think I could part with it for a slightly magical short bow and a nicely made belt and a farming implement.
Though it is a nice made belt.
It is a very nicely made belt, I will not deny that.
I have things from the Underdark.
Oh, what kind of things? I've never been to the Underdark.
She'll kind of hand over like a chunk of the glow moss and some of the glow shroom.
As she's pulling that out, Ash might just ask, like, have you ever been to any other planes?
I've been to the Feywild once, I think. I wasn't really certain, but there was a lot of strange creatures which seemed very Fey. And when I came back, it had been a year and a half, so I think it's from the Feywild.
That would.
Or I could have been knocked out and I didn't notice. I've been to what I'm also relatively sure was the Plane of Fire. Very briefly. I kind of stumbled into a portal and then was very quickly shoved back out of it.
Where was that?
Somewhere in the desert.
Could you point to it on a map at all?
Within a 30 to 40 kilometer radius.
I mean, Esther's got a really shit map of the desert, if that helps.
Yeah, you guys also know 30, 40 kilometers is like a pretty sizable chunk of the desert.
Still, though, it'd be... Yeah, that's like this.
Yeah.
Still, it wouldn't be...
Well, that's miles. Kilometers like a third of that almost.
Alright, so like that?
Yeah.
Alright, that's not the worst.
Yeah, it's just very imprecise for the sake of a portal.
Yeah, could we still, like, get a mark?
Yeah, he does, and I'll do it in a second.
Potential portal.
Only because Ash has a portal radar, that's why I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate to 3 miles, right?
I believe
one.
so. 1 or 3.
Where's my draw tool?
Closest planar portal within 1 mile.
1 mile, okay. Let's use red. Plane of Fire.
On time to start beach
I
coming
did
out of area.
not mean to hit that. I apologize.
Go, and...
Yeah, that's roughly.
Yeah, it's not precise by any means, but he says it's roughly that area.
Alright.
About that.
And he says it was about a year and a half ago that this happened.
So just small thing could be useful, could never be useful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I trust me. I understand the sake of pursuit of knowledge, just in case it's useful.
And where'd you acquire the helm and the 2 blades? Were those the same place, or just?
Yes, I found a home of what I'm pretty sure was once a dragon, but at the time was just a living pile of bones. Seemed like a relatively young dragon, so I collected a few adventurer friends that I have met, and we crafted some very clever disguises, if I do say so myself, and raided what we could from the castle. Not the castle, the cave.
A young dragon. What do you mean? Mainly just like skin and bone, nourished,
It was
or
only bones, but it was quite small compared to what I hear most dragons can get up to. Not a baby by any means, but young.
was it dead or was it still alive?
It was moving, but it was a skeleton.
Ah,
Where was that located?
On the Obsidian Coast, way to the west. I'll point it out on the map for you guys too.
and how long ago was that? Sorry.
Oh, this was a month ago, maybe 2.
Interesting. Okay. The dagger of frost. Would you be willing to trade for that?
Did I draw that line?
What line?
Sorry, I drew a line by accident. It confused me.
I don't see any line.
I erased it already.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the question, Sky?
Christ. Would you be willing to trade for the dagger?
I'd say the belt and that bow would be trade enough for me.
Esther kind of feigns over to the group. Is that okay?
If you wish.
Could you guys do it like a check to see like will you be able to estimate the relative price of some of like items like this?
Yeah, it's equivalent cost to what he's trading.
Okay.
Just over 1,000 gold pieces.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Because I will say that helm seems pretty useful for just
It does.
getting the enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
I would really like to get the helm to break it down for the sole purpose.
Okay.
Could we do? Okay, because we have some of the corn stuff that we're probably not going to use.
What
Yeah.
about the armor? The husk armor?
Oh.
Yeah.
Was there any husk armor stuff we were going to disenchant or use?
Have stuff that can give resistance and immunity to poison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there is that heavy armor, but requires light armor proficiency. That'd be
Is that okay? Is that how it's made, Conrad, or is it in
Which?
It's
The
how it's
husk
made.
armor.
I asked about that already. It's how it's made.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That might be worth it then. You might like that.
How do you feel about very unique items?
They're my specialty.
Well, we might have something interesting. Just start rooting around in the bag.
Ashley holds the bag open.
Thank you. So, do I pull out the husk armor or the cob armor? Is there anything
Get
you
the
want to say?
husk.
Mm.
first if you want more.
Because that seems more applicable to him, like the heavy armor.
As a note, he is in like the I'm trying to, like, you ever see those like old timey adventurers in the jungle with like the tan outfit with the hat?
Oh,
Yep.
God.
That's what he's wearing.
Dr.
his
Livingston, I
mustache.
presume.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking Nigel Thornberry at this point.
Yes. No. Precisely.
Okay.
Alright.
So,
And pull out the husk armor and lay it down.
And he goes, "Egad, is that the armor of the corn palace?"
Oh fuck! You know about that?
you know about the corn palace?
Yes, I was there when it disappeared. I was coming there for the tour because apparently they do tours, and then it just.
You were there.
That. Wow.
Intriguing.
Well, I was chasing after the castle.
Ah.
This is legitimate husk armor.
Of the king of Corn Palace?
Yes.
Corn palace had a king.
It did.
Do they have a royal line? Is he still alive?
He
No.
is dead, and we do not know.
Decidedly dead.
Fell to madness.
As an inquiry, how long have you been chasing the castle?
About 4 weeks. The canoe is not very fast.
How far have you gone in pursuit of it?
Oh, across the country a couple times.
Oh.
Ooh. God, now I feel bad.
Here, well, this is
I don't.
legitimate.
He was fucking stalking us.
He was stalking the Corn Palace, brother.
He was stalking the castle. He was stalking our castle.
Oh, he's been following our castle
Yes.
across the country.
Yes.
Oh, motherfucker.
Feel kind of
There you
bad,
go.
though.
How is this
Yeah.
the first time you've actually caught up?
Oh,
Yeah.
you've been moving quite slowly compared to how you have in the past few days, and you went south, then you came back north, and then just moved very slowly north. It gave me a couple days to catch up.
Like Fainover, just like, I think he's right that we've been really erratic in movement.
I think we have a fan.
I think we have a stalker.
I think you're both right.
Oh god.
So, in terms of the legitimate husk armor of the king,
Yes.
would that be a willing trade?
Roll a persuasion check.
I will point
I'll give
out
you
that this
help on
armor
that.
is one of a kind. You'll never find anything else like it. As far as we know, it's not cursed either.
And as well, it is very light and very easy to wear for something that provides this much defense.
It's also good against poison.
And you may never find anything like it again. And Zine's gonna like tap
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Corn
poison
Palace no
over there
longer
can
exists.
Be very dangerous.
The Corn
Alright,
Palace
so-
also no longer exists.
Yes. So take guidance as well as advantage. The DC is lowered by all of your help.
Limitation.
Persuasion. Oh.
D4?
D4, give me a D4.
Slash
Oh,
R,
Jesus, here we go.
1d4.
18.
18.
18's a good number.
He says, while I am a huge fan of novelty, I would ask just a little bit more to sweeten the deal. Do you have something similar to the belt?
Break out the great cob. Break out the great.
Wait,
No,
I didn't hear
no.
what was
Great
said.
club.
What was said?
He said something of like maybe equal value to that belt you showed me earlier. If you're still willing to trade that, I'd be willing to trade
How
it.
about another exclusive cob piece,
Number
corn
two.
artifact?
We have more.
Corn effect.
Corn
We have
effect,
a
I hate that.
too, but that's thick.
I gotta get rid
I was
of
gonna say the
longbow now.
cob club.
The Great Cub.
The Great
Yeah.
Call.
Is that just a great club?
It's a fancy Great Club.
Yes,
What does it do?
it hits things.
It hits
like-
things.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a great club.
It's a
Yeah,
novelty
it's-
great club.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
perfect.
kind of like a very fancily made piece of like a very fancy shirt is still a shirt.
Okay, fine,
I'm gonna
perfect.
pull out
He
the
pull,
great cob.
Ashton pulls out the great cob.
And he looks at it and goes, "My God, the legendary weapon of
Beautiful.
cornomancers."
God.
Esther's trying not to say anything. Will this suffice?
If you're willing to trade both the set, I think it very much would.
I think
And
we
she
are
kind of
willing.
faints to the group. Can we please? Can we please? Can we
Yes.
please?
Go for it.
Yeah!
Get the stuff out of our hair.
You are
Get
more
him out of
than
our
happy
hair.
to take it. And she just kind of slides over the helmet. We will take this.
He says, "And the dagger as well for the belt and bow."
Yes, please.
All right. So go ahead and add Helm of Darkness to your inventory,
Is somebody else in the party loot, or should I
Yeah,
go
who's
in?
doing it?
I got it.
Okay.
as well as Frost Dagger. It's a +1 dagger that also deals an additional Constitution modifier of cold damage.
Give me a second. So you said, sorry, it's a +1.
Wait, scales
what's
with the
the-
person's constitution?
What's the hit dice?
1d4 normal dagger.
Thank you.
The cold damage scales with the user's hit constitution.
Yep, it's basically you can turn up the cold up to whatever you can bear to hold, and that's how much damage it deals.
Okay.
Oh, Esther's gonna have to do a resistance to cold now. And the
Yeah,
helm
it's,
of
le-
11.
it's less cold damage to yourself, it's temperature willingness to withstand.
Have the amulet of health. If there's an attunement slot on Esther, she was
Oh. Awesome. Alright, we got that, so break it down. Nice. Sick.
And
Sounds
as you
good.
grab the helmet to kind of put it in the bag, you just hear, "Why, hello, dear. Child of light."
A hello to you as well.
And Esther, you're hearing this just in your head. Your Fane are setting off like Kill Bill sirens.
She's saying
It's not
it out
Nyx,
loud.
but it's not good.
She's still saying it out loud.
Oh?
And he goes, "Ah, yes, the helmet speaks to you too. Wonderful."
Astra's head shoots swords because he knows that kind of conversation.
Don't
Yep.
engage it, don't encourage it.
How the heck do I delete the husk armor? Get out of here!
They said
I mean, you already burned the dude wearing it.
There it is.
Astra grabs the helmet of Esther's hands and throws it in the bag.
Immediately, when both your hands touch it, he goes, "Ah, child of even more light. Quite a bright party you have, Gerald." And it's shoved in the bag.
And done.
Just like a
Alright,
quiet,
we have
no, as the helmet like dives into the bag.
Here's the thing, Esther will break that helmet with utmost kindness. You don't.
It says, "Well, am I still welcome to camp here?"
I don't see an issue.
For an amount of time, we can't. We are all still going to be going about things, so we can't have you sitting here all day every day.
Of course, just for maybe a day or two. I've been chasing after Skyland for a very long time. At the very least, I'd like a break.
Allow him a bit of a rest, shall we?
Yeah.
2 days?
2
I'll pay
days.
standard innkeep's fee.
Don't worry about that. We don't have accommodations. 2 days. If anybody comes by, you may speak with them, but I would ask that you not wonder too much. I would hate for something terrible to happen to you.
I will keep that ominous sentence in mind.
No, truly, it is highly dangerous in certain areas we haven't even fully explored.
Oh, you're not the ominous one. That forest is quite scary.
There are
Quite.
a lot of snakes.
I just
Oh,
very much wish to impress that upon you.
consider me impressed in many, many capacities. Well, I appreciate the tea. It is actually quite common, thank you. Might I ask you a little bit of tea for the road?
Sure.
Here, keep the rest of it, and I'll go ahead and just give him a few, essentially the equivalent of a small box.
Yeah,
Fuck, just smoke weed.
You,
Smoke
for a
weed.
lady and a scholar, thank you very much. Wait,
Do we still have the barrel of
lady.
incense?
yes. You guys have so much goddamn incense.
Esther's gonna reach into the bag, pull out a little bit of incense, the insect repellent one.
Yep.
And just kind of hand it over. You'll want to burn this. It'll help keep the bugs away.
Thank you very much. And he kind of takes it, and you see him pull like a small tobacco pipe, and he casts a little produce flame underneath the pipe, dips the incense in the pipe to light that, just a bit of a smolder.
I had a bit of a heartache. I was like, please tell me he's not gonna breathe that in.
No, he just uses the embers to light it instead of the flame.
It's
Because
like that
produce flame is a
video.
quite powerful cantrip.
It's the dude with like the video, and he's got all the incense sticks attached to the hair dryer, and he's like, "Feel the vibes, dude." As
Oh,
it
yeah.
into his face. And Esther, she'll
Ah.
kind of kneel down and just, if you need to call upon somebody, use the Firebird. They will understand you, I suppose, a little bit.
Sure thing. I hesitate to ask, do the Firebirds have names?
Yes and no.
Alright. What can I address them by? Just Firebird?
She'll,
Resident?
I'm going to
Citizen?
open that question to the Firebirds themselves, whether they want their names given or anything else.
They basically say that they only give their names if you commingle.
Okay. They have no stated preference for names, so
I suppose it would be kind of hard to state it if you can't really speak. In that case, I will call you. He looks at Azkai for a second. And says, "I'll call you Smokey." As her just puffs more smoke in his face.
I put the hand over of Askiar.
Just like a puff of smoke in his face, and he goes, fitting name." And he looks at the blue Firebird and he goes, "I'll call you
Oh god.
Skylar."
motherfucker.
And he just gives them stupid pet names to each one of the birds.
If you do need to call upon somebody, here. And she says something in Primordial. Do any of you guys know Primordial?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I know
I'm the same
Fervus
race
does.
as you, Esther.
I know
do.
Fervus does. I mean, besides Fervus, the fucking clear Genasi.
Yeah.
I hunt elementals.
Basically, it's the a kinship to Spawn of Fire. It's almost like a title.
There. And he kind of almost folds the word in his tongue. He says, "Ignan Origin?"
Yeah, I'm of the tribes.
I assume. My pronunciation is not perfect from what I understand, but I will do my best. And,
You're fine.
Stop taking your time from here on out. I very much appreciate you guys accidentally waiting up and taking the time to speak to me.
If you happen to come across any more of these interesting items in the future, we will be willing to trade. At
sure
least
thing.
I will be.
You folks travel in areas I see him quite often. I usually trade with this man called Carson. If you want to go to him, he has most of the magic items sold in the past.
Oh my god!
Hey, Carson, Fane.
Arson?
I'm just like, what? It's like 9 a.m. What?
Do you know whatever this guy's name is?
He hasn't given it.
Jeremiah. Yeah, yes. Yep.
Oh yeah, he has. Never mind.
Jeremiah.
He goes, gnome, stupid outfit, canoe.
Yep. The canoe's at the end of the castle right now.
Oh. Did you bring anything interesting this time?
We got a cursed helmet. Did
I
you
still
make
have
that and
them.
sell it to him?
No. He tried to sell it to me once. I said no.
And a cold sword and a cold dagger.
A cold sore.
Wait, what?
A cold dagger, cursed to give the bearer a cold sore.
No.
I guess, I mean, I'd trade for it, but
If he comes back, would you be willing to be the in-between man?
sure.
Alright.
You
Go
should
back
bring
to bed, you
some-
lazy bastard.
I have reasons.
Hmm.
Also, who the hell wakes up this early and actually is active?
9 a.m.
Bro, we wake up at like
I have
6.
a world to fight, and Skype hang-up sound.
I have
Immediately,
dogs.
like he just like sends a second message of like, yeah, go kick some godly ass now, leave me to bed. So you guys are free to leave the gnome in his own care. But 3 or 4 Firebird kind of choose to stick by him and just make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
What a weird Canadian that we have just met.
God.
Stop! Stop!
Issa knows everything.
Alright. He's kind of just says to you like, I'm about to go to bed. Do you want me to talk to him or...
No, not now. You can leave him be for now. But you can keep in mind that we've given him leave to stay here for 2 days and not to poke around too much. If you catch him up around the castle, bothering anybody, going anywhere he shouldn't be, or staying past his welcome, well, I'll leave that to you to deal with.
Alright, I'll do my best.
The fenestration equivalent of throwing off an island.
Walking the plank.
Into the lake!
Stay in contact with the Firebirds. We have some keeping an eye on him.
Alright, let me guess, Asgar?
Among others, yes.
It's the only bastard more paranoid than Ashta.
I'm
He's
rather fond of...
perfect.
Oh no. Oh, no wonder.
When you're fond of the most
Are
paranoid
you looking at me
fucker.
like that, Rosalind?
Just noticed something. Never mind.
He looks back, it's like, what, is that guy up to something?
Oh no. No. It's a personality trait. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with the gnome.
He looks at you with a paranoid look.
Esther gives a knowing smile.
I just realized there was
yeah.
probably a reason I got so fond of Askiar so quickly. Just reach
I
over and just kind of
have
pat him on the
research to get
face a
back
couple of
to.
times and then keep walking.
Well,
And
that's
that
just
wa-
adorable.
Brain no work,
You alright there, Ashta?
yeah, fine.
I'd say
Go
cackle
back.
at your tongue, but it was
Let's
clear
go.
it was
The
Rosalind.
gnome kind of like grabs your hand, Ashton. He goes, "Please advise someone. I think she's flirting with you."
Fuck!
What?
Can I actually just roll an intimidation check just looking at him?
Yeah, roll a glare check.
Alright.
I think she's flirting with you.
Are there any bonuses to this?
His
No.
face.
He just watched you get flustered at 3 words from
It's
Rosalind.
disadvantage.
11.
You failed.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow, like, "All right, be single. Good choice."
I still just look at the gnome and just go, "Oh, it's fine. They're almost practically married," and then keep walking.
Good choice, both of you.
There's a quick feint over to Ascar. He's just like, it's like, whatever bare minimum infraction Rosalind gave you, just drop it a few levels, okay?
There's just a deep and heartfelt aye.
Yeah. Purvis is gonna get back to potion haste training.
Yep. So as you guys return to the castle with the help of the Firebirds, Orzer kind of like comes up to you and says, holding the orb, like, "Well, it's a bit of a project, and I'm not going to charge you on account of me getting to meet a monarch of legend. Yeah,
Nice.
enjoy the demiplane.
Thank you.
Made it as standard issue as I could, but it came with its own furnishings.
Interesting.
Just
I suppose we will discover that.
You said
Nothing dangerous, just it's a look.
just give us a Fane image.
No,
Torture?
no.
I'll let you just enjoy that treat.
Oh dear.
You said
Also-
you wouldn't charge us. There's something that I would like to hire you for, though.
All right,
You want to break a curse?
bang me, sure.
Unless you're gonna take out the helmet.
Another hand touches the beacon.
No! Esther's just gonna look at the helmet. Oh, shut the fuck up. And she's gonna hand the helmet over.
No!
Curse off of this.
And he holds it like. I mean, yeah, but it talks. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that.
It's nothing dramatic. It's just like Ashta, but grumpier. Anyways, can you
Oh,
take the curse off?
of the innocent.
A bagel!
Bagels.
That is the exact voice I'm trying to go for. I'm glad it's coming through.
It has a very nice enchantment that we would like to pull off, but only if it doesn't come with that particular personality and curse attached.
The personality's there to stay. I can't fix that, but I can get rid of the curse.
I like the personality. It's funny.
Well,
Don't-
so be it.
I don't like it.
Okay, here's the fucking thing. I'm considering, like, he actually has his cloak. I'm considering, like, should you put visibility on it? Jesus Christ, if he has 3 talking things on him.
I think at that point the DM cannot juggle it anymore.
Out of
There's a
curiosity,
reason I just do essence.
is the if we say we're to take away the enchantment and then to pass it on to like other things, would the voice stick with the enchantment, or is the voice only into the helmet?
It's kind of up in the air. It depends on what the enchantment technically is. In general terms, it's invisibility because that's the game effect. If it's a thing of it bends light, no. If it's something along the lines of it basically a darkness covers you, and this is the voice of the darkness, then it would stay. It depends on the nature of the enchantment. When you break it down into the recipe, you would get what that is.
Alright.
So, can you take the curse off?
Yeah. How much paying?
How much you? Well,
Depends how fast you want it. I can do it right now for 600.
600?
What's 300?
Tomorrow.
How about...
Honestly, out of her own pocket, she will give 600.
No, wait, listen. We've got a job to do, starting tomorrow. It's going to take us a while. It's going to take us probably a couple of days at least just to get there. Am I calculating that correctly? On foot.
If you guys are going on foot to the
Darn
prison?
Yes.
trying to find where the archipelagos are. There we go.
Not from like the archipelagos, from the castle.
No, I know. I was trying to find where I had the castle.
Yeah.
Okay, 82. Yeah, it's gonna take 2 days to get to. Actually, no.
3 days?
3 to 4 days to get there.
Yeah.
It's going to take us 3 to 4 days to get somewhere. Perhaps it could be prepared when we return.
Sure, you don't want me just to teleport you guys somewhere?
That might
Would-
be obvious involvement, though if you have a way to make it less so, we would accept.
Teleport you in a 100-kilometer radius? Or 100-mile radius? No, sorry, not 100-mile. 10-mile radius?
100
That-
yard radius.
Might work, as long as the diviner can't pick up your magic.
Just teleporting you guys. Again, she knows that you guys and I work together, but
For 300, you would have it done by tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
300 it is then. Out of my own pocket, I'll pay.
Alright, then I suppose we'll stay here one more day.
so it is.
very excited.
Yeah, so it is first thing in the morning. You guys have basically had 2 days off. You have the orb, which can basically teleport you freely once per day into and out of the demiplane. And when you go out of the demiplane, you can pick which plane of existence you would like to be on in an area that you're familiar with. If you're not familiar with an area, it goes by teleport rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we get a write up of that eventually?
Oh, hold on, let me see if I can find
Might
where I'm at.
I just want that moment of like Esther walks in with his helmet.
We gotta talk. No, stop
Hey!
calling me weird shit.
I found a talking helmet. What do you mean you found a talking helmet? I also have a blade of cold. Look at this. I found neat things. You need to be stopped. Please.
Can you tell my naming has taken a dive as I've been doing nothing but writing shit for the new campaign?
Just
Doing great.
So, if we're going to be here one more day, what would you say to introducing the Dragon Fellow to the Monarch, as was
Could we-
previously discussed?
Could we please?
I'm gonna get to work on the haste potion a little more, but yeah.
Oh,
Have fun.
speaking Fergus,
Yeah?
see these bolts here on my wrist. Would you be able to potentially coat a few of them in poison of some sort?
Pick your poison.
Pick which one's most effective.
That would be wyvern poison. I could give you a vial of that.
I am giving you free reign to adjust my bolt.
Okay.
Well, his poisons only work for the day, don't they?
For the day,
You have the ability to make permanent poisons if you want.
Yeah. I'll make her a vial of permanent wyvern poison.
Oh,
Okay.
Speaking of the crossbow, want to see something?
You guys also have a bunch of poison in the party loot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck, we do.
Yeah.
Poison
Yep,
stacks
yep.
too, right?
But mine can
No,
give
absolutely
you-
not, Ariel.
No, she will not. She
Sorry, I
will so
didn't mean
not.
to derail things. That's why I put it in the chat.
No, but you're right.
She will not use the power responsibly. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
This is why he can be paranoid about it.
Yeah. So, he's gonna make a permanent wyvern poison.
Okay, I'll say it takes like an hour to do.
As
Yeah.
we. Oh, while we're in the
Do I need to make
archipelagos,
a check or anything?
No, you're passive is high enough.
Fair enough.
before we go
Yeah,
to
plus 12.
Yeah, it's basically DC 13 with guidance. I'm just assuming you can hit a 15 comfortably.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, because we're still in the archipelagos, before we start drifting back to Lucerne to meet the dragon dude, and assuming through that time or the poison thing, can Esther let off her radar for a second?
Yeah, sure thing.
Here you go. It is
Hold
a
on.
Oh, sorry.
I just
So,
wanna see
hold on
which-
to Sky, not to John. John, go ahead.
Yeah. Here you go. It is a potent poison. This is. He will basically describe how potent it is. It's a DC 22, and it is 9d6 damage.
If it's the Wyvern's poison, it's going to use the base DC, because it's permanent,
Base
not your reagents. So
Oh,
it's
no,
DC
there-
15.
Okay, DC 15.
But
Okay.
it still has the. But it still goes through the anti resistance. Like, it still works with that. It's just not the
Yeah.
high DC from the reagents.
Would it maybe
Okay,
just
yeah.
be an idea better to just have Fervus make Esther some the day of that she's gonna use it?
That
Yeah.
lessens his ability to make other things that day, is the only thing.
Wyvern poisons are pretty pricey in terms of how poisons go.
Yep.
Alright.
And by the way, the orb is called the Orb of Shadow Travel.
Nice.
It's called the Orb of Transition before, by the way.
Yes, it has changed ability, and therefore I'm changing the name, so I know it's different.
Yep, just making sure it's...
Yeah,
I
it's the same
didn't know
orb.
if you had the old name of it or anything,
No.
but yeah.
I understand why. It's me and names.
Okay, so yeah, and then I'm gonna put the rest of my time with the dwarves and potentially with Ashta doing the modified potion of haste.
Yep. Actually, how much time are you lending? Fergus, you can put up to 13 more hours into that in the day.
Okay. Cool.
If Ashta chooses to help, double however many hours he helps with.
Would this be during the dragon stuff, or...
The first hour is him making the Wyvern potion.
Okay.
So you can basically say you come back when he finishes the potion. Oh, sorry, the poison.
Okay, so he can go on the way with the people going into town?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry, I'm just gonna be for once.
As for the earring, Ariel, definitely.
So yeah, how many hours are you willing to put in, Ashta?
I was gonna ask Conrad, but then he disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Was here, but now he
Yeah.
He was here, but now he's gone.
gone.
Gone. He gone. Oh no, we broke it.
What was the items everyone got from Rosalind again? Just out of curiosity. I want to ask that I can't remember everyone else's.
Mine's
Bracelet
not,
with
but
mistletoe, I believe?
there's a bracelet.
Oh, Jesus. That fucking broke my eardrum.
Turn your Discord down.
It just somebody rejoined or somebody disconnected and it destroyed my ear. How long would it take to enchant an item that doesn't require attunement?
Alright, sorry, I'm back.
I don't think he
Howdy.
has a time limit on enchanting anything according to attunement. It's according to rechargeability, though that varies.
Because if it's the earring, if we enchant the earring with fire resistance, I can't have it be something that I have to attune to, unfortunately, because I already have my slots filled. Hello, how did you get in here?
I suspect that passive fire resistance would be okay, right, Conrad?
Yeah, it's simple enough to do, especially with those dragon scales. It'll help offset that quite a bit. Keep in mind, once you get the vestige back, you get your immunity back.
I know,
But-
it's just for the sake of, in case it ever gets yoinked again.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Just letting you know.
Honestly, in that case, then she'd probably do it with cold resistance instead.
Honestly, you could, if you have materials for both a cold creature and a fire creature, you could probably enchant that yourself. You're skilled enough at it.
Hey, Dragon Man, you got any scales?
I kind of
And silver dragons are known for cold.
I kind of wanted to, I kind of wanted Rosalind to enchant the things for everybody. It wasn't supposed to be a do-it-yourself thing. It was you got a coupon, redeemable
either way.
whenever.
We want to
no.
help.
You can help. You can help. He's not going to stop you from helping if you want to, like, pour your own spells into it, etc. But I would ask that, she's
No,
the
of
one
course.
doing the thing, at least for that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just giving
Okay.
an idea and helping. That's it. No,
Yay.
this is definitely a Rosalind thing.
Thank you.
Can I give you
Yeah, I was just
a
mentioning it. Sorry, I was just referencing Esther in terms of like proficiency level because Rosalind is ridiculous. Esther is more standard.
Conrad, I have a question.
Yes.
That paladin ability with saving throws, right?
The aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to make something like that just for itself? Because I already have something that boosts saving throws.
You could basically re-enchant that if you'd like, which basically make it more powerful.
Oof.
Because that's my ring of protection, and I think I may want that to have a boost before the personal enchantment, because I don't know for the bracelet yet. But I have wanted to enhance that for a while.
You could also have Rosalind disenchant the ring of protection and then re-enchant the bracelet stronger.
That works,
It would make
actually.
It would make it much simpler for her to enchant, and you guys would have that enchantment to put on anything you want.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say also, we have that amulet of health.
Yes.
That's a simple one to break down as well.
How ridiculous would it be to then enchant it without attunement?
It would basically, again, outside of any modifiers, because there's 100 modifiers you could toss in there. Outside of any modifiers, it would just up it by 1 rarity,
Okay.
which I think to Rosalind's skill level is still pretty ridiculous.
It's a rare.
Yeah, so it'd bring it to equivalent difficulty as that armor was, if you don't modify anything about it.
Okay.
But it's not the high end of very rare; it's the lower end.
Okay.
Oh shit! I have an amulet of necrosis that we could also break down too.
All right.
When the hell did I give Esther anything called an amulet of necrosis? When did I think that was a good idea?
Esther bought it, brother. I bought it
Right,
before we went
capitalism.
into the Underdark because necromancer, necrotic damage. She was the only one to buy anything that resisted necrotic damage.
I didn't see any shops in the Underdark.
So,
Fair.
is this going to be a Rosalind and others breaking down enchantments day?
First, should be the dragons.
Yes.
And the radar thingy, please, before we leave
Yes.
the archipelagos.
Alright, so as you kind of set off the radar again, it's still decently north, but it's a lot more west than it was before. So, whereas before you guys were near Darrencourt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before it was kind of like somewhere in this range, like this direction.
Yeah.
Now it's closer to this direction.
Okay.
Out of curiosity,
Interesting.
real quick. Ash was going to detect portals.
Tech portal. Okay, 1 mile. Peligos. Nothing within a mile.
Alright. Just over the drive.
Yeah, you got it. Might as well use it.
Just gonna leave that there as a basic of, oh, this is the. Can you not breathe so hard? Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
My apologies. I'll stop breathing as much.
Not you! Stop!
Everyone hold their breath. This guy doesn't like it.
I just imagine like everyone in a circle with their cheeks puffed.
You. I'm talking to the spaz.
All right. So,
Back to Lucerne.
yep, as guys float over to Lucerne, shocking a great number of tiny villages on the way.
While we-
You are officially the UFO cryptid of the world.
That's all I desire to be, is the local cryptid.
It's more than local; it's national.
We are the national cryptids.
You're like Roswell, guys.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
We're straight up UFO. You understand that, right?
yeah, that's why I said it.
Unidentified, what the fuck?
UWTFO. So,
While we're-
as you guys kind of
Oh no, I was saying, while we're flying to Lucerne, Esther wants to show Asta her wrist bow.
Ashta, it is a very dangerous, force damage dealing bow on the wrist that is very easy to hide with tiny arrows.
You want to see something cool?
It's muted.
Oh, he's muted?
Sorry. What's
Yep.
that?
So Ash, just for the number of puns this session, just take fucking inspiration, you asshole.
Took me long enough. I think I've had that for like 30 sessions.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're complaining I'm giving you inspiration.
I'm complaining I haven't been getting inspiration previously, yes.
Wham wham.
Asher looks at the wrist crossbow somewhat jealously.
Essence kind of appears over your shoulder like, huh, compact. Can I try
Did
it?
you learn to do that?
He just turns into the wrist crossbow.
We met!
Goodness.
It's effectively a hand crossbow.
Oh, also, I don't need your help in training anymore.
Oh, okay.
I may or may not have accidentally absorbed 1 over the favor of 3 supposed deities. And they gave me a
Right.
gift.
Right.
So he's gonna turn and fire the wrist crossbow at a rock.
Roll an attack roll.
Or a tree. A tree is probably a better option, because it'll bounce off the rock or it'll break. Yeet.
Alright, oh, nice job with the damage type there. Also, it's
did I-
3120.
Peak ring.
Oh.
Very
Damn
nice.
it.
And it's 3120, not just 120.
What the heck?
But
Why is
for
it-
all you fucking anime nerds out there, you know the one scene in Naruto where he throws the dagger like through a rock?
Yeah.
It does exactly that as the force damage, which keep in mind, add the 1d6 force damage to that too.
It's not on there for some reason.
It might have been you forgot to put the 1 in the 1d6.
Oh, yes, I did.
It just like right through the rock. Why was that word so hard for me?
Esther's very proud of herself.
Yeah, so keep in mind, +1 weapons, you can add +1 as a miscellaneous modifier. Add your intelligence to the piercing damage and the +1.
Oh, it's Oh, my damage modifier is intelligence too?
For both.
Nice.
Asher's gonna try a shot.
Do you Planner Warrior the Rock?
Can he?
You have Planner Warrior and weirder things.
Is
Alright.
it a +1 to hit, or is it a +1 damage?
Both. when it's not specified, assume it's both.
I have a fun time.
Yeah, Ashta doesn't pierce through the rock like a needle through like a piece of leather. He splits the rock in half.
Well, yours is bigger, and you have essence.
He turned it into the wrist.
You shot the heavy crossbow though.
Oh, okay.
It's a different damage dice.
Okay, okay. I'll roll the
Roll
d4.
a 1d6 rather than a 1d10.
Alright.
Also, take your dex off the force damage.
Oh.
So almost equivalent damage though, as yeah, it's 1 less damage. Yeah, he just splits the rock in half with a little tiny crossbow, but it is essence, which you know is bullshit.
See, look, isn't it cool?
He nods.
They taught me how to do it.
I think my uncle's a rare teacher. He
I
was
feel
small.
like a disapproving frown is you just basically said a god of knowledge is not the best teacher.
Boss is gonna be mad.
Oh, I pissed off a god. That's new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
this
Esther
one's,
God, she likes that one.
yeah, but this one's nice to me. So can we not, please?
Well, then he can take a joke.
Him and Mistra and the Gith man, who I don't know.
Man.
Gith man. We will call him Gith man because Lord of the Mind is long and Gith man is shorter. GM. We shall call him GM.
Jacob Giffman.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens.
So do I have to go, like, physically assault Conrad to kill this guy, or what?
That motherfucker.
There's something else
Your
that they
inspiration
gave.
can't help you now.
No, but a crossbow can.
But if you can get your hands on an actual crossbow, I will shall be the plot
Chris has one.
thickens.
Jesus Christ, Enya.
But they gave me another ability. They gave me something else too, but I haven't tried it yet. And there's something else, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't know.
You're real descriptive.
I can't describe. It's weird. It's like a feeling, and I know it when it will happen.
We have brain goblins
They
that
don't
talk to
like
each other.
Brain.
I don't
So
know.
as you guys kind of float over top Lucerne, there's like a time to disembark from the castle.
Oh, we get to go talk to my favorite band, except for Korea. He's my favorite, but we get to go talk to the other favorite, and that's my excitement.
As you guys get on the platform with Rose's apprentice on it, he kind of goes, "Okay,
Ooh.
this is my first one unsupervised, so let's hope I don't drop you guys."
Lucy,
Yep, just boss. Just like, ah! He like jumps like a foot in the air. The platform dips like 10 feet very quickly.
he was doing that before we took off. Oh my god.
In that case, it just judders like 3 feet to the right.
He's like,
Yeah, don't scare them.
Sorry,
Control
I
them
default to
differently.
evasive maneuvers.
It's okay. You're fine.
honestly, not a bad thing to do.
Okay. I'm suddenly far less confident than I was before.
If it
Let's go.
helps, I would like to stay here. I've got something to disenchant. Ashta, where's that amulet?
He goes in the bag, roots around. Oh no, sorry, I thought the group was going down first. Like, wasn't this just like a short thing, or?
I didn't think we were
First, staying
taking
behind to the
long.
potion. Rosin, stay behind if she
Yeah,
wishes.
how many hours? Yeah, I was asking how many hours you were
Alright.
willing to put in.
Yeah, so this is that 1 hour you're making the potion, or the poison.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you guys are gonna need Rosalind and Lucerne unless you want her along. She'll go, but otherwise, apparently I've got 10 hours to sink into stripping this amulet.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. He roots around, tosses it over.
I may feign you to pick up some materials for me if need be.
Sounds good.
I'll let you
Stay
know
away
what
from
I
any
do.
rooftops.
Of course.
Esther nudges him.
I'll stay in the workshop.
Which is notably very underground.
Yep.
Thorn will be with me.
Alright.
It's like, yeah! From Thorn on the shoulder.
Well,
Thorn just
and-
kind of flies over to Ashta and like sits on his chest for a second, and, like licks him beneath the chin, then flies back over to Rosalind.
Yeah. Okay, now it's my turn. He pulls Rosalind over, gives her a kiss. And then just like Thorn behind the horns.
Yep, and he kind of like he does like a little like a moan of like like just pleasant like jittery noises. I can't make a pseudo dragon sound. I'm sorry. Sure, let's go with that.
Platypus noises.
I can't do those either. I can't even roll my R's.
Esther's just gonna kind of lean over to Xenia and whisper, "Oh, thank God he meant to kiss. I thought he was about to lick her under the chin for some reason." That was my moment.
Ashton with his passive perception turns and goes, what?
Thorn just turns and looks you beneath the chin again, Ashta.
You said my turn. What am I
For a
supposed to gain out of
kiss.
that?
Dogs give kisses by licking the what?
Hey, I'm no dog.
No, you're certainly not.
Thank
I
you.
grew up in the desert. What kind of dogs do you think I was near?
Those ones that howl at us that were super creepy.
We have a
Yeah,
have
they're
a-
not very friendly.
Anyhow,
we have an entire small cottage full of actual dogs.
all of you, have fun. Don't
As
get
Rosalind
into
pops a
too much
Tylenol and
trouble.
walks away from you guys.
All right, Green Gills, let's go. And he he like pats the kid on the shoulder.
Hey, how'd you know my mother was a Triton?
Parting is such sweet sorrow. She calls
It's
after
a
Rosalind.
figure of speech.
Oh, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm so nervous I think I might throw up. Let's go. Thankfully, at least with Fervis and Lady Rosalind not there, because I won't kill all of you if I fuck it up. Okay,
Can
okay.
Esther roll
Then-
mom and call this? Can Esther please
The horse
roll
acts
mom?
as a parachute. Don't worry.
What? How?
Can Esther-
Asher puts his hand on the horse.
The wings shoot out and like smack the kid in the face. Like, oh shit, okay, fine. Jesus.
Can
Let's go, the horse.
Can I please roll mom to calm this kid down?
Go for it.
When I put my hands on Lucy.
Not
It's not a
as
very good mom check.
it is not. She's just. It's okay. Like you're
He's
going
like-
to do fine.
Rose said the same thing, and then I tilted it too much and dropped her off the side. But she was okay. Okay, let's do this.
That's
And
why
he, like-
Rose isn't here. She's dead.
No, they alternate back and forth, but she's like watching as he starts to like lift off, and this entire conversation going on. She's just like shaking her head. And he begins floating it. It's a far less stable ride than you guys are used to. He'll get to like a 10-15 degree angle before he has to like readjust it to flatten out a couple times. All in all, though, you're safe as long as like a particularly strong wind doesn't push you guys over. But you reach the bottom without any incidents. Esther sits down in the most terrible vote of non-confidence.
No wonder
And
that
as you guys
horse
kind of sat down with Sarah, he's just like, okay.
Maybe attach some OS bars to this piece of stone for new flyers.
Makes it much more hard to control.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go get some calming tea. Come find me when you guys need me.
You did well.
You did very
did
good.
I appreciate you guys being convincing liars. And he just like walks off looking like shell-shocked.
Convincing liar at all, but I appreciate that compliment.
Oh, the poor thing.
You just see him walk into like a little cafe, or like a young half-elf just like says hello, and you see him like order a tea and sit down.
You see the drow. He is back.
Not again.
He has a crossbow bolt in his throat.
Rosalind's
My
not
home
going to stop Ashta.
I have home serve advantage.
Rosalind leaves Asht alone for 10 minutes, and he shoots a Fae.
God.
You shoot him too, honestly.
So as you
Wow.
guys head to the dragon shop, immediately the silver dragon from war kind of like greets you as you walk in, Esther, as she's seemingly just like flying and dusting like a little bars that are across the ceiling.
Oh, hello, dear.
Hello, you've returned so quickly.
Yes, we actually have a proposition for the owner of the shop.
Oh, I'll go grab him. I think he's making breakfast, and he just kind of flies off into the thing, and you hear a brief conversation as he comes out holding like a egg sandwich.
It-
Hey, back so soon. Hopefully a decision's been reached. Wow, you weren't wearing that armor last time. Cool armor, bro. Also, cool elf?
Thanks.
This is Xenia.
So
No, I
much.
know, I've never seen you. They just look very different.
Hmm.
Hopefully this is the last cosmetic change. I'm actually a fan of it.
I mean, with any luck, you won't go splitting yourself into 4 again.
We're not talking about that anymore. That was 2 days ago, Esther. It's all in the past.
It's all in the past.
Oh my god, it was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, get over it. Come on, it happened.
It's been more than 2 days.
It's been like 4 days. Like 5
4
days.
days.
It's been
Yeah,
less
it's
than
been-
a week.
Yeah, it's been less than a week.
So, out of curiosity, I believe we've come to some sort of an agreement on the proposition, and she kind of looks to Ashta and Xenia.
Well, depending on the conversation here.
Okay.
You just don't want the
No.
black egg back, right? Because I've already sold a couple of them.
No,
No,
that's
no.
okay.
We would like you to come up onto the castle to meet someone who is on there. She kind of runs the place, and if she approves of you, considering you are running out of space, we would like to offer you a place up there.
I will go find my good suit.
Go
and he kind
ahead.
of just kind of stumbles in the back room and he comes out in this like dragon scale print suit, which actually looks like fucking fantastic. Like all the it's like a dragon scale pattern, but on the shoulders and the piping on the sides, it's like tiny, tiny gold and silver dragon scales kind of woven into the material.
I don't know what a game show host is, but you look like one.
Bro.
That isn't.
It fits the profession, you know. Like if you're a big like Dragon Con, it's look,
I'm sorry, there's a what?
it's a business thing. Don't worry about it.
There's a
You look okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
there's a gathering of dragons?
No, it's a gathering of dragon owners.
Easy there. We've already got some gatherings to get to already.
Speaking of then, come with us.
Very well. Should I bring the lady of the shop, or should I leave her here?
I think it would be best to leave her in charge.
All right. I'll-
Well, she could come meet Pyrrhus.
As long as you have somebody who could take care while you're gone.
that'll be okay for a couple hours. Not gonna be there the whole day, right?
Don't
No,
think so.
don't believe so.
No, I'm up to date on maintenance, and they're all fed. Worst case, I'll leave one of the older bronze dragons in charge, but that's not always the best idea. So they'll be okay for a couple hours. They're mature-ish. Not really. They're able to survive. They're dragons.
Need
Let's
help
go.
locking up.
He kind of like walks out the door and you see him casting enchantment on the door, and the dragon follows after him. Well,
Out of character, does the silver dragon have a name?
she does. I forgot where I wrote it.
It starts with a C.
It's
I
in my
remember that.
notes. Where is it? Where is it?
I wrote it down
Actually,
somewhere,
I think
but I don't
it's
know.
in stuff to remember. Hold on. It's not in stuff to remember. Shit.
I can't remember how far
Name.
back.
His
It's like-
name's
like-
in there.
A session or two?
Yeah, but
It was
It's like Cal something. Give me a second. I think I have it in my notes.
It was from the 25th because we know Grignol's name. We didn't get her name.
I'm just trying to figure out where the hell I wrote it. Which
I
We
didn't
did
get
get the dragon's
hers.
name, but I did write it into the chat.
I wrote it down in my notebook. The trouble is, I
Girl.
don't know which page it's on.
And if I hit the view all chat entries, my internet's just gonna give out on me.
Yeah, let's
No.
not do that.
Don't do that.
For now, we can just call her Silver. Until we find her actual name.
When you get it, I'll edit the stuff to remember to put the name in there too.
hmm
Asha says the name of the silver dragon.
Yep, she kind of nods to you and says, "Might I ask your name?"
Ashta.
Ashta. Huh. A noble name. I like it.
He takes it like, it's... He thinks for a second.
Carathorn.
Actually, I don't...
Spell it for me?
Carathorn.
What is it?
Hold on. Carathorn. I might be mispronouncing it. I don't know how Conrad intended it.
Carathorn sounds right, I think.
California.
No. Yeah, Carathorn.
Sorry, I interrupted you guys. So.
No,
it's
it's
okay.
okay.
I've added the silver dragon up there. Alright. And she says, "Well, my name is California, as I'm sure Esther here has told you. I hope I can be a new resident of your flying castle."
Well, we hope you like it, at least. Do you... I guess in the grand scheme of things, you're quite young for a dragon.
Quite, yes. I'm just leaving my teenage years.
Do you have much, I guess, wants or desires or dreams for the future?
To make things better. I'm hoping when I'm older I can settle down in the city and protect it a little bit. Or wherever I happen to find myself, but I grew up in a city, I'm a bit nostalgic for it. But someday I do want to start a horde, maybe have a small clutch of dragons. That's far in the future. A bit young to think about that now. I've been starting to write a book. It's quite difficult.
Really?
I'm having to burn the words into metal as opposed to write it down, and not quite easy to do that in a wooden shop. Which, by the way, wooden shop, I still... And he goes like, yes, we've had this conversation.
A lot of stuff is made of stone.
Lie,
up
you-
there.
And he goes like, and she goes like, well, yes, I don't technically use fire, I use frost, but it works.
If you would like, I'm sure there would be somebody up there who would love to dictate something for you.
Oh, maybe, but I find joy in doing it myself. It's difficult, but it's worthwhile, I think. I don't think I've ever read a book written by a dragon.
Hmm.
I'm excited to meet this Pierce I've heard so much about.
Ah, yes, my son.
I assume not, genetically.
No, adopted.
I figured. Well, do you guys need a ride up to the castle, or do you have a way there?
Actually, and Ash does like the whistle thing as he looks into the tea shop.
As he kind of goes like, he comes out like, it's been like 10 minutes, he's like, oh, quicker than usual. Okay, I think my nerves are settled.
If
Do I have
appropriate.
enough time for a cigarette?
If you finish it on the way up, sure.
The window was closed out.
Hurry up.
As you
Okay,
finish
look.
and
Walks to the side and like lights up a small cigarette. He seemed
you
doing his best
guys,
to calm down.
you guys okay with heights?
The dragon kind of just snorts.
Caraforn,
Yes,
if it's not too forward, may I have a ride up?
sure. I
I've
imagine
never,
I'm faster than a floating piece of stone.
I've never ridden on a dragon before.
Oh, is Pierce too small?
A little bit, yes.
It's quite bumpy, not as smooth as if I had a saddle, but if you have a good enough grip, you should be okay.
Well, Pierce is getting bigger.
But Esther has yet to ride him.
A little longer.
I didn't know how big he was now.
He's like, if you stretch him out from like tail to nose, he's maybe up to your shoulder height. So, a large dog.
Okay, would she be capable of riding him, or is he still too small?
Maybe?
Hence, why?
Yeah,
That's it.
he's capable to be strong enough. His wings would cut the hell out of your back.
Yeah.
Caraforn is maybe nose to tail, 11, 12 feet long.
Perfection. I love.
So about twice the length.
Esther's gonna-
Pierce a little bit. He'll get there.
Yeah, he's young. He's maybe like equivalent of 10.
Yeah, he's still a baby, y'all.
But as you kind of hop on and the shopkeep sets himself on the platform and the very nervous attendee goes, okay, much better now, and goes to raise immediately, it like wobbles a bit, and immediately the shopkeep just grabs onto you, Ash, for dear life.
Try sitting down. It helps.
No, I'll stand. And there's like the guy riding is like, sorry. Takes like a deep breath, like a breathing exercise, and Caraforn kind of, again, snorts just a little bit as she carries you up there, Esther, far faster than these folks.
Esther is screaming the entire way out of pure joy.
At one point, Caraforn can only look back. It's like, you're kind of screaming in my ear.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is just so much fun.
That is fair. Oh, do you want to see something even more fun?
Yes.
Hold on tight as she like almost shapes her wing around your head, and you feel the slipstream now. The wind is not on your face; it goes around you, and she just goes into a deep dive at like 100 kilometers per hour.
Esther is her hair has gone out, by the way. She's
And then just like roller coasters back up.
oh yeah, she's fucking screeching with joy, attempting not to go screaming in her ears.
And Caraforn just kind of laughs as you do so, and eventually you get up to the castle, no problem at all. Issa immediately is there, like, what the? Oh, Esther,
Hi.
did you adopt a silver dragon? Caraforn goes, oh, not yet. And he goes, oh, right, they talk. Shit.
They're coming
Hi.
on the platform. I've never ridden a dragon before.
Yes, a little bit of warning next time. Thank you. Hi, Caraforn. Nice to meet you. I'm the head of security here. Esther, I assume she's here to meet the monarch?
She is, along with the shopkeep, the dragon shopkeep.
Ah, good. I'm going to interview him as well. Well, the
The-
monarch is ready for you.
Well, I'll bring you in first then, Caraforn. The rest will... Shut
Nope.
up. The rest will catch up.
This Caraforn can, like, kind of like coughs, like a bit of a barking noise, and
And then cover it up. She got
Oh,
mad
what's this?
because stop dropping it off the bed.
Dogs.
She has her toy in her mouth and she drops it off the bed and then gets mad when it falls off the bed. Anyways.
We're gonna teach her name's third law someday, don't worry. Um, and as you guys kind of fly over
Blah,
the top
blah.
into the courtyard,
Permanence.
immediately Caraforn just like kneels, nose to the ground in front of the monarch, and the monarch bows her head appropriately and says, and they have a brief conversation in Draconic, which you do understand, but for the sake of this, I'm not going to narrate. Basically, a greeting of powerful magical creatures. They talk for a little bit about the history of dragons in the castle and the role Caraforn would be asked to play for the sake of, if dragons were to stay here, understand that the Firebirds are going to need some adjustment. And the discussion goes on for a little while, kind of passively, as, no pun intended, the monarch almost seems inclined to take this one underneath her wing, as Caraforn displays like a decent amount of wisdom in terms of people and the maintenance of an area, and describes how she typically takes care of the other dragons.
Esther has to fight an urge to be protective over someone that she hasn't yet adopted.
Do we eventually catch up?
Yeah, and when you guys do eventually catch up, the monarch kind of nods to the shopkeep, who nearly passes out at the side, considering what he's looking at.
Ashik like keeps a hand by his back. He's like, "You're okay, buddy."
He goes, yep. Oh,
It's quite saying over. Thanks for waiting, Esther.
You're welcome.
that's a big bird.
This is the monarch.
She
Hi. And the monarch kind of just like looks at him, not seemingly particularly impressed. And Caraforn kind of just nudges him with her snout and says, "Come on, be impressive." And he straightens up and bows and kind of says his piece, introduces himself as the shopkeep, the surrogate father for dozens and dozens of dragons over time. Yeah, and he gives a pretty good resume and pedigree, and the monarch kind of grills him and interviews him. Specifically about the black dragon eggs, which he explains that he's sold to a couple people who are a bit more specialized in chromatic dragons, but he's kept two for himself as kind of a training. But he's in consistent conversation with them over magic and has some of their books that they've written on the process of training chromatic dragons to be not tameable, but civil, if a bit problematic. But to a reasonable degree. And you guys, if you'd like to stay for the whole time, they basically begin to hash out some agreements.
Yes, I'll stay.
Okay. Anyone else, you can spend the time. It takes about 2 hours for them to discuss it all. If you go about what you'd like with the castle, Fervis, you've started your potion now. You have 13 hours you can spend on that. Ashta, if you'd like to take as much time as you'd like to help him double that, up to you.
He'll give him how many hours do we have in the day left?
13. You'll have 13 hours worth of like busy time you can use.
All right. He'll give Fervis 5.
Okay.
Okay.
So Fervis, add additional 5 to that.
will help Rosalind.
Thank you.
Roland, you've begun the process of enchanting, but you're not too far, or disenchanting, but you're not too far in.
After the approximate 2 hours of the hashing out time, once everything is settled, then Esther will probably go into Rosalind.
Yeah, so by that point, Rosalind's about 3 hours into the 10-hour process, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The 10-hour process is assuming that you said it was on the lower end of a rare magic item. That's about 500 gold.
Yeah.
And it's calculated per gold price, by gold price. So 1 hour
Yeah,
for
so
50 gold. I don't know how much it's actually worth.
Yeah, so market value, people would probably sell it for closer to like 700 to 800, but actual cost is with 500, so 10 hours is fine.
Okay. Thank you.
So, as you each kind of sit there and observe Rosalind's process of disenchanting, which you're doing a strip disenchanting, right?
Yep. That's the fast one. I am not spending 5 days on this.
I do not blame you, especially considering this is not going to be used, so.
Yep.
Yep, it's basically coaxing the magic out of it into some kind of perceivable form, and then drawing it in a recipe that makes sense to the user. It's kind of similar to the process, Esther, that you use to write your own notes for spells.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice, almost humorously, as Rosalind kind of disenchants it, the framework and diagram of the weave enchantments. They're kind of rose-shaped. You're not sure if that's due to her notes or due to the magic item or what. It's just a funny note. But after the monarch discusses with the shopkeep and Caraforn, they effectively come to an agreement that the highest tower, if you guys, of course, agree to it, or not agree to it, but like don't have other use for it, that actually where Esther was confronted by Scorpio the other day,
Mugged.
will become the kind of airy for the dragons and give them the freedom to fly. They'll only really be let out of and freedom to fly across the castle and across the island once they're old enough to understand the rules. Otherwise, they'll have to be supervised by older dragons. Kind of standard, like, preschool, middle school, high school rules.
Okay.
Dragon summer camp.
Yeah, kind of.
Eternal.
And in the meantime, the Firebirds are willing to help, not do the work for, but help with finding food for the dragons across the island in a sustainable way.
Okay.
In addition, should we just say to the dragon guy, hey, you can do your merchant stuff basically from here as a base, though you'd have to, like, take things, meet clients elsewhere, but also you can meet clients in more cities than just Lucerne that way? Or is that a business model he wouldn't be doing?
No, it's something, especially with the help of Caraforn, that he's more than happy to do. Considering that he can be flown down at any time, and you guys do have Rose and the apprentice to help with transport. Not to mention the Firebirds. He's comfortable with it. Most of his time is spent taking care of the dragons, not selling them, really.
Yes, but if he ever needs to or wants to get them into hands of people who know to deal with them, handle them, help them find new places to live, then yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's a way to do it.
he's willing to take the risk at least, and has heard tale of Carson. In fact, he lives here, and knows that he has some kind of connections with weird magic folk, so he's sure that he can strike up some agreement there.
Of course, he's heard tales of Carson.
Yeah, well, Carson was in this area quite a bit, so.
I know, it's just very funny to me that this man is a local legend.
He came to the shop with us the first time.
He did.
Or not the first time, the last time.
Yeah.
Just the concept of this man being a legend very much amuses me.
Yeah, fair. But with that, Rose, not the apprentice, decides to basically take it upon herself to help him move all his stuff in his shop. Apparently, in the couple days you guys were gone, he did some, like, real footwork and had found a seller so he could sell the real estate to.
Estelle just kind of asked once all the things are hashed out, so have you guys come to an agreement then?
Yeah, I think this is sustainable. Caraforn seems excited, and I think I'm excited to end the rift between dragons and firebirds, too. They're beautiful creatures, and I think the dragons will be better off for knowing them.
See, I told you you'd like keeping me around.
I'm not gonna lie, I was doubtful for a very long time. But you were very right.
Speaking of, while you are transferring your stuff down, is it alright if I steal Caraforn for a quick...
Yeah, sure, Caraforn. I want to ask her more than you ask me. She's kind of independent, that she has the freedom.
Okay.
And Caraforn kind of nods and says, meet Paris, I assume?
Yes, he should be down in the caverns.
Well, let's go find the young scrapper. What's the common word you guys use for a little active, imaginative child?
A ticking time bomb?
Ticking time bomb.
But
Maybe
that
tongue
might have
twister, but
just,
I'm okay with it.
that might have just been my descriptor.
Tyke.
Well, not sure what a bomb is, but I'm sure you're correct.
Oh, it's okay. Fergus will show you eventually.
Glad to hear. As she said, the dragon says this with the utmost optimism. And then
I'm learning.
Yeah. And Pyrrhus kind of, you find him in the cavern, kind of jaw deep in a rather large iron ore deposit.
Oh,
There
wonderful
is.
first impression.
And he just kind of looks, like his eyes like turn to the side and goes, "Oh, that's a hold on. And he hears like awful crunching and scraping noise. He just like takes this massive bite out of the wall and chews it and says, That's a silver dragon you have there.
Yes. Her name is Caraforn. Caraforn, this is Pyrrhus. This is my son.
Hi. Hello. Do you
Caraforn's
like iron? Caraforn's gonna go, I'm more of a fish type of person. Carnivores. Ugh. Don't act all morally superior with me either. Just kind of like looks a bit taken aback. Says, nice to meet you. I hope we have a interesting working relationship. I'll be kind of taking ownership of the younger dragons here, not yourself, of course, unless you wish to be under my wings. Do you have a horde? And Pyrrhus just gets this like big grin in his face. A little one. Let me show you. And they both just like go running down the caverns, flying down in Pyrrhus's cases. Careful, kind of says to you, says, I think I might as well speak on his excited grounds, and she follows behind him.
Esther has a very proud parent smile, and she's gonna go try to find Orzer.
Orzorp at this point has gone down to Lucerne with you and is back in his usual
Oh, he
house.
went back into his place. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to enchant in his place.
Okay. Then never mind. She will help Rosalind.
So, yeah, you each are free to distribute the hours as you wish. Rosalind, by the end of the day, you'll have 4 hours left to do as you wish. As it only takes 10 hours to disenchant, it is complete. Esther, you don't need training, but you can just kind of watch as she does so and learn how her process goes. Which you could technically add to hours if you really want to.
While she just kind of sits back and watches, is it possible if she can try to sit back into meditation?
Yeah, sure. By now you've learned pretty comfortable at meditating your own.
She wants to try to speak to the gods.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a D100. Xenia, in the meantime, if you're going to spend the whole time Rosalind's there kind of watching, you take an additional 10 hours of training.
Oh.
Alright, Esther.
Are you? I swear, if you bring more gods onto this island.
Are you thinking of any gods in particular?
The 3 that she knows.
Okay. As you kind of focus and, slip into that transient mindset of the meditation, it would be enough to begin at Rosalind. Actually, wait, does the formula have the time?
It's just... Yeah, it halves the time.
In that case, yes, you would be able to.
Yay. So, normally it's an 8-hour thing, not a 4-hour thing?
Yeah, it's now 4 hours to do it.
No, that's what I was asking, because I thought it would be a 4-hour thing, basically, without the, without the...
Passive effects function the same way as recharging effects, in terms of time to enchant.
As opposed to single use. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's more expendable and non-expendable.
Regardless, who should I do first? Because I've got, Xenia and Esther right there. And I know Esther's squishy, so health will not hurt.
Honestly, if you want to enchant Esther's earring for health instead of anything sort of resistance, I would not mind.
Okay.
Do both. It's higher DC, but... Well, actually, depending on what it is, it's a higher DC, but... But in the meantime, Esther, while you're in your trance...
Jesus Christ.
Roll me a D20 as well.
Oh no. You get shot back out of the meditative...
Okay. As you focus, and it takes about an hour before you feel it fully come into focus, you're sitting at a small, not table, more of a desk, across from the father of Gith.
Of course it's him. Fuck.
Kind of looks up to you and says, "Hello, good morning." Morning.
Good
For you, right?
morning. About so, I believe.
No, it's evening by now. This is end of day stuff.
This is at the beginning of after the negotiations.
Oh.
Yeah. The timeline's kind of choppy here, just to get it
Okay.
going. So it'd be about 12, 1 o'clock, around there.
It's about noon.
Noon. In that case, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Apologies, I didn't to be work. I wanted to thank you, all of you, the three of you, for the
Just
gift
me
that
here
you gave
today,
me.
but... Oh, well, I'm happy to supply. You are... An interesting experiment, some. And I'm curious to see how you mature.
Experiment.
Of a sort. If you take the kind of condescending language for it, more of a case study. One of a rare variety that we'd like to see what happens.
I had some questions for you, if okay.
Well, you're already here. Might as well.
You're not a god, are you?
Depends on your definition.
I mean,
By your culture standard, no, I'm not.
are you a powerful spirit? I just get they don't
I'm a
really have a god.
I'm a powerful individual. There's no divinity to me, but I am, in terms of lifespan, ever living, and quite influential. Kind of like the Archfey aren't gods, neither am I.
So then, or got it wrong then, I suppose.
History is fluid and subjective. Might be that in the culture who knows me most, I am a god to them.
There, when I had the talents were gifted to me by you, I was things, my mind. Is there a way to get that back?
It can be given back, but I'm not the one who took it from you. It is also not my place to grant second chances.
No, that's understandable. I was just curious on it could actually be given back.
Theory. But on the process of how, I will not speak on.
Understood. I'd like to work with you. All three of you. I don't know the name that you called, but I would like to. I'm very kind, and I want to learn.
Necessarily need us to learn, and your presence here shows that we are willing to take a part in your role. But you're respectful, resourceful, and maybe not cerebral, spiritual. Which is always a good sign for us gods. I am already working with you, and I would have no complaints to continue doing so. Though if you're planning to become a cleric, I cannot grant that power.
No, I don't believe that's my path.
Don't think so either. Though you would make quite the matching set with Gariel.
It would certainly be interesting, considering that Thought has taken a bit of an interest. Apparently he's been badgering Gariel on questions.
Such is the nature of us, gods with mind and gods of intelligence.
I don't mind. I find it rather flattering, honestly, taking an interest in.
I would hope so. I can think of a number of people you know who might take less kindly to questions like that.
Oh, fortunately yes, but I like to think I have a judge of character, and I respect all three of you enough. And I hope that on my end, I can earn.
Well, continue your pursuits. Reach the heights that you're meant to reach, and use your potential for more than just a passive lifestyle.
Is there anything else that I can do besides meditation? Any sort of skill you something, a bit of direction?
This is not our journey to step. If meditation is your connection, the way that you communicate with your intelligent self and your fane and your understanding of the world around you, then the medium doesn't matter.
Curiosity, correct me if I'm wrong, but the basics of telekinesis is to manipulate energy, is it not?
For some.
Through
For clerics, it tends to be granted the power of mild omniscience to control something at a distance. For those who control the weave, typically it's done in the shape of a hand, which acts as a go-between telekinesis, while some would rather manipulate gravity.
out
The
of,
magic is your own.
through meditation, would it be possible to strengthen that?
Possibly. Though you wizardry types have access to spells that would be possibly quicker for you if you can find a scroll. But nothing because you can't write a new version of the spell.
I can write spells?
Yes, as long as you can figure out a formula for it. Spell scrolls are just a previously written formula.
You wouldn't happen to elementals, would you?
Sorry, say again?
You wouldn't happen to know a lot about elementals, would you? I don't believe that might be your area of expertise.
Relative to the average humanoid, I like to think I'm pretty well read.
I know that through planar binding, it is possible to bind an elemental to an object for an extended period of time. Is there a possibility of befriending one?
They think, just like any other creature.
I mean, in the sense of, like how a certain... I don't know how best to explain how certain creatures can inhabit the same form.
Sorry, how certain creatures can have the same.
To inhabit the same form. Would it be possible to create that sort of relationship with elemental?
It's been done. In practice, it tends to create a new creature, rather than two who share a body. But theoretically, you could get a minor elemental to inhabit your lungs. I'm sure they'd find it quite cozy. A safe place, but many elementals wish for freedom and are primordial forces. Having one exist within you, while possible, is altering to the form.
I suppose it will just make me a bit more an interesting candidate.
That it certainly will.
Well,
Who
any
knows?
luck.
Maybe you'll invent a spell that can do something similar.
Before I go, I have one last thing to ask you. My daughter. Is there anything you can do to help her?
Not directly. I don't think you need me to. She has you.
She is what, sorry?
She has you.
Thank you.
I need you to understand, Esther. When I say I'm not a god, it means I don't meddle. I have very little power on your plane. Or any plane, for that matter. I am powerful by my nature, not by my influence.
Well, I think you're rather kind, either way.
I try to
Thank
do good
you.
with my power.
It's very nice to have somebody to talk to, who understands in a way.
Interesting to have a mortal to speak to after so long.
I
Tell
hope
me,
it
do you
can-
still need to eat, or have you evolved out of that yet?
We still need to eat. Frequently, in
Shame.
fact.
A shame, but I suppose a necessary sacrifice.
I won't take up much more of your time. Give the others my well wishes. You do see them.
I'll do my best.
Thank you kindly. And she'll just kind of fade out.
But as you do so, you feel his hand upon your shoulder as he gets up from the desk, kind of places it on your shoulder and walks past you, and as you open your eyes, you're back in the workshop with Rosalind and Xenia.
And she'll kind of say aloud, that was fun.
What was it?
I just spoke to the gift.
I'm sorry. Who? What? Which?
The gift. The third one. Lord of the Mind.
You're going to... Oh, from your dream.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's very kind.
You just said the equivalent of I just spoke to the Genasi.
Oh, no. I meant I just spoke to the gift. Sorry.
I understand what you
No.
mean now.
He's very kind, actually. And he's not a god. In the sense that he doesn't meddle. Which is odd, considering our current relationship. Apparently I'm an experiment.
Congratulations, if that is an account.
I don't know. I suppose a case study would be more appropriate. I still don't understand what that means.
Maybe they're just trying something out and seeing if it works.
I don't know.
Does Rosalind have the slightest idea what a case study actually is?
Roll a history check? It's like a science check.
Yeah,
Yeah, would
this
Fergus know the
history is
term
raw intelligence.
case
Fergus
She
is
has no
downstairs.
proficiency in this.
Oh,
No,
Fergus is
she's
downstairs.
got
That's
nothing.
right. He's working on the potion.
Yeah, Xenia, you can make an intelligence check of your choice.
Okay, let's make history. Oh, hi!
Okay. A case study generally means that rather than manipulating the subject of the experiment, you observe a subject of interest. For example, if someone is born with a strange hereditary disease, they're not an experiment, they're a case study when you record what they do and possibly do experiments on them. So it's an observation of a natural, interesting phenomena, basically.
Alright, they'll explain that a little bit. She's like, so, you're unique, and they want to figure stuff out.
Is that like weird? I haven't heard that word before.
A little bit, but we're all weird, so doesn't really matter.
Okay. I still don't understand. I tried asking what I used to have. I miss the telekinesis. That I miss. I miss just being able to look at something and it coming towards me. It's nice. But apparently there's no easy way for me to gain that back, unfortunately.
Hey, maybe when you're older, learn it back from your kid.
Or Ash can too.
Oh, Ash can do it.
Ash is a scion, yeah. It was a shock, to say the least. It's abnormal for somebody to have 10 Genasi children, let alone 2 of them being scions. It's not normal. Even in my vocabulary of what is. Genasi bloodlines are interesting. They sometimes skip and lap, and they're weird. They're really weird. So to have 10 straight Genasi children, interesting. You said I could. I need to go. And Esther's gonna leave the room.
Esther, wait.
Huh?
I am going to finish this up. I might have a little bit of time left over. Do you want this enchantment that I'm stripping off right now put onto your earring, or would you rather wait?
I would love that.
I can do.
Truly.
I can do one person's tonight. I think a little bit of extra longevity wouldn't hurt. Well, it wouldn't hurt any of us, honestly.
Have one of your either dwarves or someone in here, Rosalind?
I imagine there's some around this just entire. If this is entire workshop complex area, like that cave over there is for smithing, that cave over there is for alchemy, that cave over there. Then
Yeah,
probably
they tend to give you your space if you ask for it, but just would you have them near you or no?
I mean, they could come in and out. She
Okay.
might not be like actively weird with them.
The door is kind of like looks at you and says, "Why don't you ask Garil to do his all-nighter thing?"
His what?
Oh yeah. Guriel is capable of casting a certain spell. It's to take away exhaustion.
Greater restoration.
I used it last night, actually. He was kind enough to place it on me.
Oh, I can do that too.
I may ask for that if this goes wrong. Hopefully it will not.
If also, Rosalind, if you need to ask someone from my squad, they also know that.
And you can effectively use it to skip a long rest and skip the exhaustion, as long as you don't mind. Like you don't, your spell still has to recover on a short rest, so you're fine.
Yeah, and it's not like we've done anything. Alright.
I will be back.
Okay.
Sorry, I just have to go.
Alright.
Okay.
Out of character, am I just putting that one enchantment on this for now?
I think for now, yeah.
Yeah.
That way, at least you can spread out your time a bit more.
Okay. I'm going to try and put the non-attunement version on this. That'll be around
Okay.
4 hours.
Are you using any additional materials to try to lower the cost?
I don't think I have anything that'll, like, thematically work with it.
You
We've
can
got
use health potions.
we've got howler fluid.
I have a potion of basic healing.
I mean, dragons
Put in-
themselves have pretty rocky constitution.
I could put in enough spell slots even with like healing stuff and just take a long rest. My long rest for 4 hours.
I also have a herbalism kit if you need any of that.
Yes, I as well have one.
So, Conrad, out of that, is there anything likely to work?
What was the list again? The powerful potions are actually a way to do it, yeah. And because potions are expensive, it's a very efficient way to do it. Yeah, healing magic would be another way to do it. It would take it higher levels of healing magic to do so. It's like 5th levels and above.
Yes.
I'm trying to see if anything else would just immediately catch my eye. Dragons, not a bad idea. Dragons are careful what they like there. Dragons are kind of considered fundamental magical creatures, so they can kind of be used to fuel most magic things, not all, but a lot.
Would Xenia completely like dissected that one dragon, right?
Yeah, you have
We don't have a lot
barrel
left.
of deceased dragon muscle.
Yeah, we just have the muscle left. I used a lot of it for the feeble. I used most of it for the feeble mind potion.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what went.
And remind me, was the weird like gross X thing that was in the hurt?
Yep, that's what the chest cavity fibers are.
So, those should be gone. I took those from Ashta. Like anything.
Oh.
You would still have some left.
Okay, who just edited the crushed red dragon scales back to 0? That should have been 25. I changed it earlier. Because
No, because I marked it off earlier as being used. Oh, because we didn't do the fire thing. You're right.
I went
Sorry.
back on that, so I took.
My
put it
apologies.
back.
You're right.
Saying things out loud is nice. Please.
Yeah, didn't want to interrupt gameplay, and I was just doing things.
No,
right.
that was him.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah, that was Conrad.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was that I didn't hit save before.
Nope.
Yeah, I know I used the entire portions of the nervous system. Chest cavity stuff's still there. The nervous.
We have the muscle. I'm just trying to think of like something off the dragon that like spells constitution.
Could try and Xenia could try and purify that and see how much purification could go into it, and then maybe try and use.
Honestly, the easiest way to go about it might be
Yeah, just the scales.
the scales, and if you would be willing to put some healing magic into it.
Could we use Fervuses?
I have a platinum scale still.
Doesn't Fervus make like stupid good healing potions?
He does.
However, are they worth gold?
Not a ton, but yes. You guys also have the Grey Dragon skill, keep in mind.
Yeah.
We do.
I'm just wondering if we're like,
But I'll
even with
say-
Earth as daily, that could like round it up if we're like close to a threshold.
I'll say if combination of a 5th and 6th level spell slot from Xenia with healing magic, the 25 pounds of
Hang on
Crush
a
scale?
second. Is this all on a single amulet thing?
so hold on.
I
Wait,
wanted,
wait,
I wanted to spread this out. I was thinking like 5 pounds of crushed.
Yeah, so I'm
dragon
going to give you the different tiers of what you would need to put into each thing.
Mm.
So if you wanted to do a check of the same difficulty as the armor, but it's at the lower end basically, so it's still the 30 for the perfect usage. You could make it 19, like Constitution to 19, with just some of the healing spells. And I'm sorry, with the healing spells, if the 5th, 6th, and possibly a 7th is put in, you could drop it down 1 DC to the next like rank below. But you can also keep it at the same DC and put it a Constitution of 20 instead.
So for one enchantment run, I would need Xenia to drop 3 different spell levels.
Yep,
Fifth,
as
sixth,
well
and
as
seventh.
use the I'll say 10 pounds of dragon material.
And that's just to drop it down 1 DC level.
So Yeah, so that would drop it down to a rare and have Constitution of 20 and non attunement.
Constitution of 20.
Yes, as opposed to 19.
Is it worth it? Should we do it?
I mean, potentially.
It's honestly a lot of Xenia's stuff, and also 10 pounds of the dragon scales. I was hoping to do a lot.
Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't do Constitution for everyone right away.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use the dragon skills, you could do Constitution 19.
I was just really hoping to be able to, like,
5 pads of dragon
one
skills because we have 25.
do one after another, after another, after another over the course of the night. But I'm not going to be able to do that.
To use less spell slots, it would require you to either take a higher DC or to use more material.
Mm.
You guys do have a good amount of dragon material, to be fair.
Yeah. Speaking of which, should I edit the party loot to put that back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you were in there now, so I didn't want to edit it a second time.
No.
We also have a master potion of superior healing.
Yeah, that could substitute one of the 6th or 7th level spell slots if you would like, but
On the one hand,
spell
yes. On the
slots
other
come
hand,
back.
we want that.
The spell
Yeah.
slots come back. So, okay, if I only do the one tonight, and then Xenia can rest up and maybe just do more things later on.
Getting one in right now is fine.
Yeah. Let's just do the one. Can we do that?
okay.
It's up to you.
What DC and what Constitution?
Con 20. If Xenia's willing to do the spell slots, I'll take 10 pounds of crushed red dragon scales out.
Okay. Which spell slots?
5th, the 6th, and the 7th.
Got 3 now. Okay.
Yeah, this is to lower the DC down to a rare rather than a very rare.
Can I add an 8th as well, or no?
Yeah, it can take away 5 pounds of the dragon scales to do an 8th.
I'll add them.
Alright.
God, 2 faith level spells now, I forgot.
I said you.
Okay.
Alright.
And Xenia's helping?
That's helping.
I also have. If you also want guidance, I also have proficiency in this now.
Yay!
Oh, you do?
Proficiency.
I
as
was
well?
at
Yeah.
Yeah.
It told me
Double
30 hours, and I got to 98.
Perfect.
And then I just
Yeah.
fixed it now.
So, in that case, yeah, you can take advantage from Esther, guidance from Xenia, or advantage from Xenia as well if you'd like. But yeah, you can only get help from one person. You can also, if you want, use a feint point to double the proficiency or double the
Advantage?
Thank you.
Technically, I cannot use Feign to double it because I use Charisma.
I'll say because it's a tool check, it's fine.
Okay. I did reread enchanting rules, and innate magic grants advantage, though I'm not using any of that for this, so...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Sure, I'll take double advantage, drop a couple fame point.
Yeehaw.
Okay, and guidance?
Guidance.
Guidance. A 4?
DC is 25 with no complications. Jesus Christ, 38.
Jesus Christ.
So close to a crit!
Roll me a d20.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, don't you do it?
Doing that. Aw.
It was 50-50. Okay. You make a pair of earrings.
Oh!
You only need one, technically.
Oh.
Cool! Now
How
somebody
the
else
hell-
can have the other one.
So,
did it split
You can
off?
either wear both of the earrings and have a constitution of 24,
Holy fuck.
or 2 people can wear the earrings and have constitution of 20.
I mean, we can share the earrings. Does anybody
38.
not have?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Does anybody not have their ears pierced?
Rosalind.
No.
Asha.
Rosalind doesn't have her ears pierced.
Oh wait, doesn't? I thought you said does.
No, doesn't.
Ah, my bad.
Guys,
No,
the party
Esther
ending.
does.
See, that's one of those world building questions I never asked myself. Does getting healed by healing magic fix piercings?
Connor, I have a question.
Yes.
Can I use the mutable form, like my fucking elf thing, to give myself piercing holes?
Why not?
Purvis can actually do it on the fly. He has healing potions.
Dip a needle in the healing potion.
Yeah, Fergus has a sterile needle and a paint.
Yep.
Yo, Esther knows how to give piercings.
I don't want to do that for the sake of just Xenia going, no, don't pierce, don't pierce, don't pierce.
That's a question
I
from
know.
Rosalind, yep.
Technically I was only enchanting one earring. It was Esther's. Did it just duplicate itself?
Yeah, it basically, when you finish the enchantment, it just split itself down the middle. And
Nice.
came to.
I've never had that happen before.
That's pretty cool.
That's insane.
Well,
Holy shit.
you can wear both, and I think it'll be that much better.
Or well, what about any of you? Wouldn't you need it?
Or you could share with somebody.
I don't mind sharing it, especially if it would help
Yeah.
make sure that you don't, pass out from exhaustion.
Honestly, I'm not going to pass out from exhaustion for this.
Could I try putting it on?
Yes, they are yours. Do with them as
As-
you will.
Esther only take one, and she'll put the one on.
As soon as you kind of clip into your ear, you feel this, like, wave of static come from the earlobe into the brain and down, like, your spinal cord. And as it kind of, like, goes through the fingers and a weird twitch kind of goes throughout your whole body, you can feel the, like, difference. Like, your heart is actually beating harder. You feel not stronger, but if you had, like, a little bit of, like, indigestion or you were, like, slightly uncomfortable, maybe the air up here is a little bit thin for you, immediately it's gone, and your hair is like a 10-foot bonfire. Because keep in mind, Constitution is what your fire spells come to use.
Oh my god! I
Not
forgot
like
about
your
that.
wizard spells, but your innate spells.
Yes, it
Use
is.
Constitution as their DC setter.
You're
Damn.
Innate DC is now higher than your actual one.
Yeah. So your fire breath, your burning hands, and I think it's your produce flame is the third one.
Yeah.
Would all be incredibly stronger.
Oh
So
God.
what would I put on that? Ability score just being Constitution of 20?
Yeah. So you would go into your modifiers
Yeah.
on the right side, like the modifier section.
I have it.
Ability
yeah.
score and add how much you need to add to get to 20.
Oh, how much I need to add to get to 20? Okay, so it'd be 8
You have a +1?
under Constitution. Oh, yeah, I do have a +1. Be 7.
That's a lot of health.
She was saying, I was saying +1 as your modifier is 12, right?
11 for Constitution.
11, so you need to add 9 in that case.
Oh, okay.
Esther, what's your level?
14.
Your health just increased by
A lot.
a lot.
14
Hold on,
times
hold on.
4.
Yeah, 14 times 4.
Less than 16!
14 times 5, because she was at 11.
11.
So yeah, 70.
What's up?
So sorry, you said it would be 9 now?
No, it would not be 9. You add 9 to your Constitution score. Conrad, you might want to go into the
Yeah, I'm
extra
going to.
sheet.
But that
In the
basically
meantime,
increases your max HP by 70.
Right.
Wow!
So,
Really?
Esther is not the tank, but she is the punching bag.
Asher leans in the door and goes, "Hey, I smelled something in the air. Did you do something ridiculous again?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die anymore!
What?
I wouldn't go that far. However,
I would.
she
I'm
holds up, she holds up
135!
Jesus Christ.
I'm a level ahead of you and have +3 to con that's higher than my HP.
Guys, everybody's gonna get their turn. Trust me.
Holy shit. Okay.
Wait. Who has the lowest health now out of all of us? Because then,
Me!
what do you have?
79!
Then, who has the lowest the wizard has the highest hit points, Jesus
I have a
Christ.
+2 to Constitution.
Whoever has the lowest then should also get the other earring.
Or you could put it on Ashta, who takes most damage.
Yeah.
That
I
is true.
have 11 con.
My
Oh,
God.
okay. I was just gonna kind of look to Ashta with the other earring and go, do you want to get your ear pierced?
That is concerning, but
There is a
he
very
kind of like
quick-
stares up to the ceiling as the hair is like going up against the stone ceiling and goes, "I'm guessing it did that."
She twitches and her eyes catch on fire.
Rosalind gives a very quick feign uplink of recent events to Ashta.
Oh, you are. He just like turns to Rosalind. You are.
Beautiful. Flawless. Never.
Give her a kiss already. that good sir.
There's like 50 words that come through the feign of just ways he describes her.
Aw,
Gross.
that's
And-
adorable. My serotonin.
Yeah, and gives like a small kiss on the forehead and just like, yeah, I knew the armor was no big deal for you.
Ashta,
So,
sit down. I'm going to pierce your ear now.
don't
Well,
worry.
that's
It's
I'm
temporary.
trained.
It'll be fine. After I've gone and done this, perhaps not the doubling of everything, but done this to everybody else's items or things, we'll be able to give the earring back and we can heal it over and close it up.
I would also like to say I am trained in this.
all right. Well, he sits down. Makes me better.
Fervis, can I borrow a needle, please? And she's gonna kind of shout through the shop.
Sure? What do you need it for?
Piercings.
Oh, okay. He hands a health potion and a sterile needle.
And Esther, she kind of, I guess, takes a little, like, dips a finger in, like, a basic healing potion, swabs the area, make sure it's clean. And she goes, all right, I'm going to give you to about the count of 3. On the count of 3, I will push the needle through, and then you will feel nothing else, okay?
Bite into this. Oh god.
You're gonna do it on 2. I know how this works.
Yeah, no, she didn't even count. She just sticked it right through.
Screaming.
And she just kind of looks, oh, you know how this works. I've had to pierce the ears of 12-year-olds. Please, you are
I know how
nothing.
this-
How do you think I got all of these piercings done? I did them myself.
What?
I did my own piercings.
You
Cool.
generally do that in the tribes.
Thing is back in turn.
No, I
Some people
did
are
my...
generally trained, yeah.
The elders trained me. A lot of the children liked my piercings. They wanted to learn how to do it, so I made sure I knew how to do it properly.
Great.
There's a reason...
Great.
I was never in the tribes long enough to get my own piercings.
Would you like a piercing?
Well, if it'll get me something like what you have, then sure.
I have a... Well, it wouldn't be technically what I have now, but I can always prep the piercing places for it, if you'd
Sure.
like. I have a bag of spare earrings.
Sure.
And she pulls
Never
out this
really-
very... It's
Never
like a
really
very...
had cosmetic stuff.
Oh, come, sit down. I'll give you a piercing. Where would you like it? On your ear? On the cartilage? In your nose?
I'll just stick to ears.
Would you like
No.
both of them, or only one?
Both?
She looks so fucking excited. You can tell she has not gotten the chance to be able to do this in a very, very long time. And she kind of pulls out this very small bag, and it's full of like these weird little earrings. Like, obviously, none of them are magical. A lot of them look handmade, but they're pretty, nonetheless. And she kind of takes the needle away from you. Once again, I hope you already sterilized it. And she goes, "All right, close your eyes. I'm going to tell you before I do it. And before you can react, she has pierced both your ears." Oh, hush. It's not that painful.
Okay. You caught me off guard there a little bit.
There's a reason for it. Now pick your earrings, and I'll put them in for you.
That one and that one.
And she puts in one that looks like a star, and another that is, oddly enough, in the shape of a test tube.
Forgot about that.
Huh?
Oh, Christ,
about
what's
that.
going on in the Roll 20? I need to catch up.
Oh, spells. But yeah, there you go. And hopefully, if Rosalind to duplicate this, you'll be able to use that. They look very nice on you, by the way.
Yeah. Nice.
Nervous, hope they look great. Yep.
Are you? Zini, are you okay?
Yep.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're right, you're full of shit.
I am.
Answer. What's wrong? Just tell us.
A little bit scared of needles.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wait,
Why didn't you?
Why I use the
I
speed
got
applicator.
tattoos. It wasn't a needle, it was a woodpecker.
Ooh.
It was so much worse.
It was-
Yes.
an elf. So I don't like needles.
That's okay.
Ra-
I
Ra-
understand.
Rayla like pops out of the armor and just like, Esther,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah. Didn't you willingly stab yourself through the chest like a week ago?
Yeah, but that's with a blade, not a needle. Blade's thick. I knew it was going into me.
Wait. No.
Haven't you been shot with arrows before?
Yes, and it freaks me the fuck out.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well,
Remy tried for about 7 years. I ran every
Don't you-
time.
Don't you have spells that can make you confident and like unable to be afraid?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna use them on this.
calm emotions.
I can make you a potion of heroism. It's
No.
fine.
I do this like me, or I don't do it.
I mean, while I respect that, here, how about this? As
I
Rayla
have
grabs your bag and pulls out a
liquid
pine
courage
needle.
for you. Yeah.
He goes like, you
I-
can use this.
That's still a needle.
Well, yeah, but it's natural.
That doesn't. Rosalind, here, let me help you out.
It's me. I couldn't harm a fly, literally.
Rosalind, here, let me help you out. Totally, yeah. Okay, guys.
Rayla,
Would she?
please stop terrorizing Xenia.
But it's so much
Rayla,
fun.
would you like an ear
No,
Rayla?
It's not like that. Don't do that.
Can I full Nelson Rayla real quick?
I'll remind you, she has 1 HP, and she's tiny, but yes.
Not hurt her. Oh, she tiny. I thought she got big.
No,
Oh.
she's just poked her head out of the armor.
And I
Wait,
cannot full Nelson Rayla.
I mean,
Next
you
time
can,
she...
just with 1 hand.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a tech deck. You just gotta
Yeah,
like
like-
do your fingers at the proper configuration.
Exactly.
Esther?
And yeah, so Xenia, you could do more.
Yep.
Either 18 levels of spell slots and 10 pounds of dragon, or 26 levels of spell slots and 5 pounds of dragon.
How much is 26? Oh, fuck.
Is
Is 26 all I have left?
math.
I'm not sure.
Hold
Fuck,
on,
neither
hold
am
on.
I.
5.
Five.
I have a calculator in front of me.
12.
Yeah.
I have 12.
5.
17 plus 9, 26.
Okay.
It would use all but 2 of your second and 4 of your first.
Actually, I calculated out. Hold on, I might have it wrong. The 5th.
Oh, were you
all
counting from the bottom or
fourth-
from the top?
From the top. If you do the 5th, all the 4th, and all the 3rd, that would be 26.
Okay, then yeah.
Oh,
so-
20, yeah. Yeah, so you
This is
can...
psychotic.
What are you enchanting this time?
I'm gonna go ahead and ask Fervis for that crystal-linked bracelet that I gave him.
Sure.
Because we're gonna go ahead and get, as was said, those D6 hit die people up.
God, I'm so glad you guys finally have HP.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad at all about the prison break stuff now.
Oh no!
Oh
Well,
no!
I mean, not all of us have HP yet, but we're gonna work on it. So,
Yeah, but the party HP has effectively doubled.
Yeah.
so 5 more pounds of the dragon scales. Thank you, Xenia, for the spell slots.
I take 4-hour long rests.
That's still
And-
the coolest elf thing I say to this
It
day.
is. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Okay, guidance advantage is all the shebang.
Yep. Takes another 4 hours, but go
You
for
got
it.
it.
Do this.
Another 4.
All right. DC 25 perfect. 37. God damn it! Give me a D20.
Do it, do it, do it.
Double bracelets,
50, 50,
please.
50, 50.
Oh no!
Okay.
That broke
Okay.
it.
It's just the bracelet.
All right.
Weirdly
Okay.
enough, the bracelet comes out red.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Well, oh, so unexpected. And she makes a note in her little notebook on like the next page.
By the way, I'm just gonna say from here on out, any enchanting roll above DC 35 is but gets that D20 roll. That was like my
Okay.
hidden. That was my hidden DM rule on that sheet, and I'm gonna put it on there now.
God.
So Fervus, take that. Bracelet modifies your constitution to 20 while you wear
Yeehaw.
it. And
Make sure you add that as a modifier so it can be easily changed.
Yeah.
Oh, is Wraitha still out of the pocket?
Yes, I'll remind you, she has literally 1 HP.
When she gets big, though.
She still has 1 HP.
Damn it, so you're saying...
She's like a balloon. You just blow it up more.
Aw, so it would hurt her?
Also of note, like, Asha will assault you if you do anything, like, threatening that 1 HP. I know, but if he sees it coming, intentional or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's +5.
Nice.
And at the end of that, Rosalind's gonna go, I think that's enough for tonight.
Technically do one more and have Gariel get rid of your exhaustion.
Just,
Oh
It
shit,
would-
speaking.
It would take extra dragon scales, but you could do it.
maybe we just wait till the spell slots come back.
I think that might be
So
best.
just add another 3 HP per level for my
Also,
HP.
I
Yeah.
think you've done plenty these last few days, and he just kind of like gives her a hug and just like pats the head, just like you're ridiculous.
She-
Rosalind, it's
don't
kind of at that moment you feel like your muscles really give out for just like a half a second.
Yeah, she's lean. She was already starting to lean into Ashta, but now it's like, whew.
Yeah, it wasn't physically straining to do all this, but the mental strain of 10 hours straight of disenchanting, which is just basically math 10 hours, plus 8 hours straight of enchanting. It takes a toll on the mind, even with the Fane helping her out.
One of Asher's arms goes like and like scoops her legs, and he just sets her down to lie down.
For a brief moment, you consider taking his earring for a brief second just to not feel as tired.
No, not here. I want to go upstairs. I want to actually be in a bed.
All right, and he picks her back up.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
Carrie,
say,
yes, bro.
as their fane's over, carry her, it'll be romantic.
Yeah.
Stop.
That's
Senior.
how you get her dropped.
Yep.
Do you like to try enchanting in the 4 hours you have left before you have to go to bed?
Yes.
Alright. So, you will only be able to get 1 advantage from Fane.
Mhm.
And for you, you'll have to use 15 pounds of dragon scales, because I assume you don't have any more spell slots really to use.
I have the equivalent of 10.
10? Okay, so in that case, it'll be enough with the combination of that and 15 pounds of dragon scales, powdered or not, that you could attempt this enchantment with DC same as Rosalind.
Wait.
See, here's my hot take. Do I use my spellcasting or do I use intelligence?
For enchanting? Spellcasting modifier.
Oh shit! Let me change that.
Is this
Yeah.
is this the same enchantment? Because that's in Rosalind's book. The recipe.
Xenia just wants to do something for
Xena,
fun.
Xena,
Xena's gonna
Xena
have
also
fun.
did take the entire time while you were disenchanting it to disenchant it with you.
Cool. Xena's
So
gonna
I'll say,
have fun.
at least because it's the same day, you haven't had a chance to forget everything yet. And you also just watched her perform the ritual twice.
Something fun
So-
though, Conrad.
Sorry?
Can I make fun though?
Always.
Just to you.
Say again?
I'm just gonna message it to you.
Uh-oh.
Awesome.
Oh no.
So excited.
I don't like that.
By the way, once Ashton puts in that earring, he literally glows all the time. At least a little bit.
All the time.
You can turn it off, but he is constantly at like a dull glow beneath the
Okay,
I
so
wanna
you're
say-
telling me these things give us Super Saiyan auras. I'm okay with that.
skin. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay. So as
It's a Potara earring, essentially.
Okay,
but
the
without
only
the
problem
feature.
with that, Xenia, is that would take 8 hours.
Shit! I tried to make something for the memes and it didn't work.
Esther's hair is 10 feet tall. Jesus
What
Christ.
would take 4?
Fervus has
Or
a
anything
nice
that's
red bracelet.
immediately used up, like anything non-renewable or non-passive, or anything that's passive or rechargeable that you have the recipe for.
Okay, so if I do something that's non-renewable, but it's still in an object, I can still like re-enchant the object. Like it's like a one-time.
Yeah,
Just
so
do
if
it
you're
as-
enchanting, if you're enchanting a bundle of arrows, it takes 4 hours to do because they only have one to that enchant.
Can I do something like that, but on not arrows, but just a weapon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that one now.
Same thing or no?
No.
Okay.
It's for fun.
On the same weapon?
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to do that on arrows?
Okay. Let's do some. Let's do. Yeah. Is it 20 arrows?
Single use, using what DC?
I don't know how this works.
Do you want, I mean, like, what DC for the saving throw?
Let's do like. What would 15 be?
15? At a DC 20 for perfect enchanting. At DC 15 for the spell save. You could do 16 arrows.
I'll do that. Can I
Alright,
do
right.
guidance with?
Guidance, and if you want to use a feint point for advantage, go for it.
Okay. Go 25.
Give me the D4.
It's gonna be at most 29, but I don't believe this D4. 28.
I'll say with that, you get enough extra to get 17 arrows instead. Just you have extra magic. But you have. Do you want me to say what it is or no?
No.
Okay. Oh, by the way, first, you also have crazy fire hair now. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I forgot you put yours in.
Oh, okay.
Esther
Yeah.
looks very proud.
That's new.
Yeah, so don't say it or do say it, Ty.
No, 17. I just need the number.
Okay,
And
okay,
don't say
yeah. 17, DC 15, saving throw. That's fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
I'm so confused and I'm really scared.
I'm so excited.
Holy,
See,
how
I'm
do
gonna
you
test them out
doing
on
this?
someone like in the morning. It just has to
Good,
be a
good.
trust me exercise.
I mean, you're gonna shoot them, but, like, good.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashta, it's fine. He can take it.
Okay. So, as each of you descend to your long rest, the dragons are comfortably situated on the top of the castle. The princess is safe inside,
Oh my god.
not kidnapped. Actually, that's gross. That's gay.
Before we settle this,
What a gay.
Okay, buddy.
Gay.
Keep trying. Positive reinforcement.
That's so cheesy. Ugh.
Don't let her take your sparkle.
Can I message you later, Conrad, about something that Ash did today?
We can bring him now if you want. I'm not in a rush.
Okay, he wanted to have just a quick conversation with one with Essence and one with the Monarch.
Yeah. Do you want to roleplay it or no?
I mean, if you're fine too, it's up to you.
Yeah, I have no problem. If you want, we can jump into the other cat, or we can keep it to this your choice.
No, it's not secret or anything. I just didn't want to like rewind time a bunch or anything.
Yeah, no, that just seems like a good ending point. So.
Yeah,
I'd rather get this done first, anyways. I'm gonna forget.
Okay. Yep. So just I guess as the enchanting madness was going on.
Yeah, it took 16 hours to get all this done, so you have time.
Yeah.
Yep. At one point he would have just kind of taken out Essence.
She, as always, appears around your shoulders.
Hey, can we talk?
I mean, I can't go away unless you get rid of me, but yes.
I don't know, I just haven't had much of a conversation in a while. A lot of stuff been going on, a lot of murdering been going on.
Well, I figured you've been feeding me quite well, so I'm pretty satiated.
That's good to hear. What do you want? Do you have any needs or goals? Do you want me to get you out of that thing, or?
While I'm in this, I'm happy that you're my owner.
Aww.
You've treated me well, you've shown me interesting things. Things I would never have seen when I was in Venture, even when I was alive. I do hope to escape eventually. But that would require whoever wields me to pass.
Well, I mean traditionally.
And while it is noble that you want me to be free, I'm happy being a useful companion. I get to see wonderful things. I'm getting to see a war that's changing history.
It's a
I've-
pretty
I've
fun
accepted-
second chance.
Less a second chance, more of the worst
up-
part of my curse is behind me.
Picking
I
up
was
a new
stuck
book.
in. Sorry?
Picking up a new book.
Gotten past the chapter of the book that was unpleasant. I was stuck in a room for dozens and dozens of years. That was the worst part of my afterlife, as it were, so far. Being a sentient weapon, having a mutable form, being of service to a not higher power, but a greater strength than I. And I'm not gonna lie, eating souls is delicious. I understand why the devils are the way they are now.
Don't go too far down that line of thinking, okay?
I am no devil, don't worry. But
Just
just
making
like
sure.
you have to eat things that grow to survive, I have to eat things that have stopped growing to survive.
Well,
And
One way to put it.
today I'm satiated. You have fed me with quite the soul of this outsider's chosen.
That seems to be quite helpful. I'll try to get more, but man, the kill shot does not come easy sometimes.
No, and that is alright. Like I said, I was stuck in a room, sitting there. Occasionally, a small creature would come in and kick me. For years. And now I get to have conversations, I get to joke around. It's pleasant. Friendly. I feel I'm almost part of the adventuring party again. A minor part, but a part. So, someday I hope I do get released. If at some point you choose to lay down your weapon, and you don't expect I'll be picked up again. At least not consistently. I hope you do release me.
You know, I'll probably
with
be
you
holding
now.
a weapon for a while, but
Yes. Who knows? Maybe you'll be holding it till the end of your life, and I'll be free, and you'll see the value in what I mean.
Hmm.
You'll get to watch over those who are protected by your weapon. I never had to do it with you, but I do have influence who's able to wield me. If you were someone I didn't believe in, it would be much more difficult. You could have that same responsibility if you wanted.
you're aware of pretty much anything that goes on around me, right?
Most. I can't say I see through your eyes, hear through your ears, but if the sound reaches me, and I'm out, I'm able to see it. If not, I just listen.
Alright, then you know that, I guess now I have quite a few people who would be not too happy about me being stuck there.
Or maybe you'll be part of Xenia's eternal weapon.
I don't
I
know.
can only imagine what the strength of a soul like yours in there would do.
Only if I can turn into more than a ghost.
Who
Speaking
knows?
of which, would you care if, even just at some random point, we got some sort of method for you to be physical? Even just temporarily?
I don't know how my body would handle it. I'm willing to... As long as you don't think it will dissipate me, I'm willing to be part of the trial. But I have no particular inclination towards it. I have no need to be injured. I rarely get to be hungry at this point. I don't need to sleep. I have time to think. I can converse with Hawk, who's a wonderful conversationalist. You really don't talk to him enough.
He doesn't spark up conversation enough.
Well, no, I tend to keep him quite busy.
Hmm.
Also, his dogs, so cute. Regardless. Well, that's what he calls your arrows. But
Hmm.
it's... Being a ghost isn't that bad once you've gotten past the whole dying and curse of stasis and quite literally years of hell. So I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm here now. I'd like to make the most of it.
Just, if you ever want to have fleeting anything, just let me know. We've got quite an array of people we
Skills.
have and take care of, and can get quite a few things. Even if you just want to read a book, or I don't know, maybe take a look back at your hometown if we have some free time, or anything like that. I don't know. Just
My hometown has long disappeared off the maps, but I do appreciate it.
as an example, then.
How about this? If you go to lay down your weapon someday, maybe merge me with the castle. Make me a ghost of the castle and protect the spirit. I think I could do well by that job.
We'd have to put some massive cannons on the castle first for you to shoot.
I am completely alright for that.
I thought you would be. And he just kind of, like sets it back on the back of him.
As usual, she fades back to the weapon.
And he will head over to the monarch.
Any particular time of day?
Any time during the enchantment. Just if she has a good moment or anything like that.
Around sunset, she usually speaks to a lot of the dwarves who kind of meditate with her, and some of the new arrivals as well. She tends to have a bunch of people there, but by the time the sun is fully set, she's usually got maybe one or two people by. Usually Gabriel and Disa check in.
Yep. Okay, that might be an okay time then.
So you swing by, you see she's sitting there with the silver dragon, just conversing. Issa's asking questions. Gabriel is fascinated talking to this dragon. And they kind of nod as you approach. Issa kind of bumps you on the shoulder as she silently says hello.
He gives a bump back.
Yep, and kind of looks at you like, muscles? Harder?
This would be before he gets the earring, wouldn't it?
This would be after the first set of earrings was finished, so it would be while the second set is being enchanted.
Okay. And he's just like, he like flicks the earring.
Interesting fashion statement, but if it works for you, it works for you. Also, turn down the shimmer.
I'm trying, it's not, and he just kind of like focuses for a second and tries to quell it.
It weakens temporarily as long as you focus on it, but once you stop paying attention, it lightens it back up a little bit.
I'll dream about it or something to figure it out. Careful, I see you're mending yourself into the area nicely.
You have such a strange collection of creatures here. I thought the humanoids in the Siren were strange.
Yeah, we're the weird that floats to the top above everything else.
Carefully, might sound cocky. You say things like that too often.
Me? Who knows? But monarch, or I would call you the other.
Too.
I would call you the other thing, but I wouldn't want to knock
It's
everyone
not wise
out.
in current company.
Yeah. Just had a question, so to say. Line of thinking, maybe.
Do you wish for privacy?
Not particularly.
Alright.
You remember the fire and from the shard?
Yes. The Flame of Life.
When that was given to me. What? It's a very cleaning, good cleansing thing, right?
It is not cleansing so much as sanitizing.
Right.
It can only harm those who would wish to bring less life in the world than there currently is.
And I guess I'm a good candidate because of some of my heritage or indirect heritage.
Sit on the crossroads of many things. You sit on the crossroads of the realm of the dead and the living. Your weapons are those of the departed. You have descendants from immortals, not just immortals in terms of this orientation of the world, but remnants of the past existences. You are filled to the brim with life energy. You serve nature. Everything about you fuels life.
Well, I was expecting that much, but
You
yeah.
haven't looked introspectively often enough. At least not with forgiving eyes.
He almost like avoids her gaze for a second and turns back.
As you do so, like she just drops her head and one of the sparkle eyes immediately focuses on you. Don't be ashamed. We all have flaws.
Yeah, it's been a sticking point for me a while. I'm sure you can tell that with your infinite wisdom.
Yes. I remember once I had a sticking point for, 23 years? 24?
Mhm.
I believe it was a feather that didn't pluck right. Quite a nuisance, but not permanent. None of
Like a
you...
blood feather?
No, just it was in a weird way that itched quite often. For me, 24 years is brief. For you, it may feel longer, but you've been around longer than I have, in terms of soul. This is just one problem, and a brief one. Forgive yourself for that. You can't be perfect, especially not in this mortal body.
He like looks at himself. You're talking about past me's.
Yes. Also flawed creatures, but powerful.
I guess that's part of what I was wondering. What am I left to be if my soul leaves this place? Am I going to return to sensibilities of the others? Am I going to be a reset for another time?
Were to leave
Unaware of
today?
the past?
If you were to pass today?
He nods.
If you were to pass today, part of your soul would become part of the Is. That is the white fire that I've lent you. It would return to the Is, your fane would go with it, and its knowledge would improve the collective. The celestial portion of your soul would also return to the celestial body, revive whatever angel that you were to a life, feeling summarily chastised, I'm sure. And the part of you that is humanoid and mortal would do what all humanoid souls do. If a devil gets a hand of it, it will be consumed. If it goes to the demons, it will be used as a tool. If it passes into your weapon, you'll be a guardian. And if it is left to be free, someone else will decide on it. Probably whatever celestial that comes from your soul will decide what to do with the remnants.
He nods. And if I want to kick that celestial's ass,
Quite difficult considering they're currently in a, most likely at least a permanent stasis until your soul returns to it. And if you were to return your soul to it, or whatever part it is celestial, you would no longer function properly. You would have severe detriments to your ability to move, to think, to have a personality, to have autonomy. Possible. But you are no elf. Now, if the parts that are missing were instead filled with white fire, it's another story. Be a temporary life, one that you would have a singular goal in mind, and once that goal is complete, souls will permanently separate. Whatever happens to this celestial soul will happen, absorbed into your crossbow most likely. And yours would pass. And be given freedom of form to be judged by whatever judges your soul.
And if I didn't care for the judge there.
Then you'd have to kill every god in existence. There are hundreds of gods that preside over the afterlife. They are necessary. Otherwise, the souls would just drift in the astral sea forever. The gods there, they have a chance for something more. Distasteful as you might find them, they serve a function.
And if, rather than in conflict, the other parts of me, the is and my own humanoid soul, made peace with that celestial.
Imagine his judgment would be more favorable. Your soul would still need to be put somewhere. If you were to make peace with your celestial body, I'm sure they would be much more inclined to respect your wishes rather than their own.
Would it ever be possible to convince them to aid me in anything else I'd wish to do?
Creatures of objective minds, just like any other. Don't forget, you will also have your spirit guardian to speak for you. Your guardian angel, as it were.
Okay, this is the second time. What? I don't have one.
Really. Tell me, Ashta, do you know... Have your Fane told you what kind of celestial you are? Not personality. In function.
Roughly, but
Meditate with me.
I've had stories. Okay. That'll give me the answer.
We'll show you what you were. I think things will make a bit more sense.
Is that who I was, or is that just the one that came before me?
That is for you to decide. This is what the celestial part of you once was. And the purpose they serve. And as you are instructed in meditation, familiar vaguely, because you've seen Esther do this a number of times, your mind is immediately thrown backwards in time. And as you open your eyes, you are standing in a forest, maybe? The trees are not trees, they're plants for sure. And as you kind of look around, you can feel this unbelievable level of strength in your arms. A great sword the size of 20, 30 feet tall on your back. And the power to heal and the power to destroy on each hand. As you turn around, you say what's very clearly a Fae. And they look weirdly like Rosalind. And that's where we're gonna leave it for today.
Oh, fuck.
Shit!
Okay,
Ooh.
ending recording.
Uh.
Stars. Next time.
Till next time.
Goodbye.
Oh.